up, man?
I'm here for a reason to deliver a message, and I'm gonna articulate it the best way I can to you. But I am gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? I am not sparing. I can't help how people feel in life, right? Anybody?
Oh Lord.
Here he go.
Don't worry. I don't.
Explain that.
Get you a word. Nana nana boo boo.
What up, though? It's the word. You see the title. We about to get into it. But before we get into that, let me get into the chat. My 33 brother, Mr. Gary Busted Down Brown. How you doing? How you living? Shout out to B2B. Commander, what up, Nine? What up, sis? Appreciate y'all. Hey, my biz ad. Meant to come on a little earlier, but I'm a dad. I got to get my kids together. So, but we here now, so we gonna get into it. Know thyself. Apologize, I'm tripping. Well, like I've been yelling and screaming all year, right? 2025 is the year of completion, the year of war. All right, you got to know yourself, know who you are, know what you are. And today, give a little insight, and we're gonna use a tool that's been used for millennia. Well, I ain't gonna say millennia, but for at least centuries, right? The Bible. We're gonna use the Bible. All right, we're gonna break some stuff down in the Bible. We reviewed some of this before, but I'm gonna delineate a little bit. I'm gonna add a little sauce, a little context to it, right? And get an understanding, because we know, like I was saying the other night, we have people on this earth. People different, right? We all different. We got human beings and we have mankind. We got a kind of man and then we have human beings, right? It is evident. And then we got something else. It's something else beyond that. That have no soul. But anyway, we'll get into it. Miss Chicago, what up, though? Safi, what up, sis? Appreciate y'all, man. We about to rock out. But yeah, so we're gonna use that. We're gonna use the tool. And during this conversation, during this presentation, I just ask people to be open-minded and critical think on the information I'm giving you. Don't add no feelings or emotions to it. Just use your mind. Just look at it. Observe it in real time. I'm showing y'all stuff. I'm not go. I'm gonna add context to it, but you can see it for yourself, right? I ain't gonna try to manipulate it or nothing. I'm gonna just show you what it is, right? Dee, what up, sis? I'm gonna just show you for what it is. And like I said, this has been around. A lot of us got a Bible in our house. We go to church, but how often do you read it for yourself? Not only read it, how often do you comprehend it? See for what it is, right? That being said, we're going to look at Genesis, right? Genesis. I always say Genesis, but we're going to look at Genesis, right? And we talk proper before somebody says something. I just speak the way I speak. But so we're looking at Genesis, right? So in the beginning, I don't want to, like I said, I'm not going to convolute you. I'm not going to try to manipulate it. In the beginning, a Genesis, God created earth and heaven, right? That's not the part we want to look at, but I want you to understand the context, because it's two creation stories, right? And people kind of blend them together and add this part to this story. But this is why it's important, because even in the Bible, the Creator made two different type of people, right? It's two different type of people that was made. So the first person is in Genesis 1. The first mankind, right? Hold on. Let me get the I hate white screens. I can't turn it dark. I can't find the cursor. Okay, here we go. So Genesis 26. Then God said, let us make mankind in our image and in our likeness, so they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky and over. So God already made all the animals, right? God made the earth. It was void. All that happened already, right? But then God said, let us, and this is important. We're going to break this down too, because this is in English. So we're going to have to go to the Hebrew, and you'll understand why I say let us versus what we're going to read a little bit later, right? So then God said, let us make mankind in our image and in our likeness. So even in Hebrew, likeness is demut. That means similar, right? It means resemblance, but the root word means similar. So we're not just talking about the physical presence, but we're talking about the likeness of God. Like what has God done so far? Create. So make in our image, okay, that's how we look, but in our likeness, in our creator, in our ways of life, our the way we proceed. So these people that God made, he didn't make just man by itself. So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God, he created them, male and female. He created them, right? So this is the very first creation of God as far as mankind. So God created mankind, and he created them male and female, right? And blessed them, be fruitful and increase in numbers. So this is the point. This is the part where people always say, God said, go forth to be fruitful, right? But this is a particular group of people he's telling us to. These are the people who he gave dominion over the earth. Listen to what I'm saying, because this is important. This is very important. This is the people he gave dominion over the earth to. The earth, not the garden, but the earth, right? He told them they have dominion over the earth. The man and woman he made simultaneously. And when we go to the Hebrew name for God is Elohim. I'm going to have to pull, hold on, I can pull that up too. But the Hebrew name for God is Elohim. And if you look, it's plural, right? Meaning more than one, plural, right? So these are just really talking about the two aspects of God, the positive and the negative, the male and the female. That's why he said, let us. That's why it says, let us, because it was plural, it was more than one. So now we're talking about the masculine, the feminine energy creating. So these people they created, these were whole people. They made them in their image and likeness. God didn't make Adam in his image and likeness. God created Adam or formed him from dust. He already had an image of what Adam could be because they already created people before. You see what I'm saying? People was already created. So he didn't have to make Adam in his image and likeness. He created Adam in the image and likeness of people that was already made. Riders, Tay, what up though? Hey, Shoe, what up, sis? My bad, I'm not in the chat. I'm on this screen right here. So that's Genesis 1, right? So you gotta understand, this is the first creation, right? And we reviewed this before. I had people tell me, "Oh no, this is just a continuation. The Genesis 2 is a continuation of part 1." You're right. It is a continuation. I'm gonna show you why. Right? Because Thus the heavens and earth was completed in all their vast array. By the seventh day, God had finished the work and he had begun to rest, right? So this is Genesis 2:2. Now, when you get to Genesis 2:4, well, I think it's 2. Okay. So it's Genesis 2:10. Okay. So Genesis 2:10. Hold on, now he made it before that. Okay. Okay. So 2:7. Then the Lord God formed a man from the dust of the ground and breathed into him his nostrils, the breath of life, and the man become a living being. So this is when he created Adam, right? So it was already people on the earth prior to. This is the significant part, right? Because I got into conversations. Bronze, what up, brother? I didn't see you. My bad, bro. My bad. If anybody stepped in, just give me 1 second. Let me finish presenting this, and I'm gonna drop the link, and then we can rock out. So right before this, so we see the Lord God formed man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils. So this ain't saying made nothing in the image and likeness, right? He formed a man because why? He didn't have to make it an image and likeness because they already created. But the significant part about this too is this in this portion, it don't say Elohim in the Hebrew. I gotta pull that up. Let me pull that up. I want to show you this in Hebrew too, because it don't say Elohim in the second create when he made Adam and Eve. The Elohim did not create Adam and Eve. I don't like Microsoft. Should have went on Chrome. Huh. Okay. Okay, real quick, before we go to the Hebrew, check this out. I want you to look at Genesis 2:6, right? But the streams came up from the earth and watered the whole surface of the ground. Oh, I mean 2:5. My bad. Now the shrubs had not yet appeared on earth, and no plant has sprung up, for the Lord God has not sent rain, and there was no one to work the ground. Right. So God was looking at the earth and was like, hold on, I ain't made it rain yet. Ain't no shrubs come up, but that's a good thing because guess what? I ain't got nobody to tend to it. So I need to make something to tend to these shrubs in this garden. This is when the garden was being built, right? So this is the significance, and it shows that these two different people was made, because the first people was made and told forth to go forth and be fruitful. And God was sitting back. He was chilling. This was after the seventh day. He was chilling. And then he was looking like, hold on, man, I ain't even make it rain yet. God ain't make it rain yet. So, but that's a good thing, because ain't nobody attending this garden. So what did he do? You go down to 2:7, the Lord God formed a man. That's when he made Adam, right? And then we know the story from that point. He made Adam. Adam was chilling, looking at everything. He was bored. Then he made Eve from Adam's rib. So these are two different stories, because the first one, he made man and woman. He made them. He made both. How did he even know how to make Eve? Because they already made a woman before. They already made a woman before. So now when you go to Genesis 3, right? I want to take you to the end real quick just to show you. Now this is after the serpent talked to him. The Lord God made garments of skin for Adam and his wife and clothed them. And the Lord God said, the man has now become more like one of us, knowing good and evil. He must not be allowed to reach out his hand and take from the tree of life and eat and live forever. So the Lord God banished him from the Garden of Eden to go to work the ground from which he had been taken. After he drove the man out, he placed on the east side of the Garden of Eden, became a flaming sword flash. Okay, so there's no mention of going forth and being fruitful. No, what God said is get the hell out of here. You done bit the apple. I told you not to. Get out. You got to go. All right? So God kicked them out. So, like I said, I understand a lot of us been raised to believe Adam and Eve was told to go forth and be fruitful, that Adam and Eve was the first. The Bible never said Adam and Eve was the first, right? It clearly never said that. It's man who says that, right? So that has never been truth. It has never been truth that Adam and Eve was the first man and woman. That's what man says. Because the Bible said he made man and woman. This Bible that everybody got at home says that. And then it start talking about, okay, yeah, after the seventh day, after everything was made, right? Everything was already made. So now we got two different type of people. Ones that was made in the image and likeness of God, and one that God formed from the dust, the image and likeness of gods, the Elohims created man and woman, right? The Elohims created man and woman. Oh man, this is not the one I want. I can't find the Hebraic Bible on this search engine. Let me go to Google real quick. It's the same damn thing. Oh my god, this is not. I think I got it saved on my phone. I gotta see what website. Okay, I think this is it right. Okay, yeah. Okay, this is the one I want. Okay, we rocking, we rolling. Let me share this with y'all. Blah, 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 blah. Lilith was supposed to be the first Eve, so it's so many stories. Yeah, and even when we talk about Lilith, like Lilith was in the alphabet of Bensor. You know, they omitted that from the Bible. They if you talk to someone from like the academic standpoint, they'll tell you the alphabet of Bensor is an apocryphal text, right? It's the story. The Lilith is considered an old Jewish folklore, right? And depending on what scroll, is a little different story. Is deep. It's really deep when you start talking about Lilith because, like I said, Lilith is actually a race of people. It's not just one person. Lilith was actually, if you look in the Jewish, like the Talmud, Lilith was a race of people, like a demon group. And that evolved into a story. But even that story is not older than the Arcadian folklore of Lilith. Even the Jewish story is a story older. So when you go into like the Babylonians, you will see Esther, right? Esther was literally the first Lilith. That's where they got Lilith from, was Esther. Or Estar, or what y'all call Easter, the celebration of Easter. So, I mean, that we have to talk about Lilith on levels. It's like levels to Lilith. But let me share this right quick with y'all. Oh no, I did it wrong. This is something different. Okay, so now check this out. We have on the far left the characters in Hebrew. Then we have the translation of what those characters mean in Hebrew, and then we have grammatic. We don't have, this is like old English. This is not even the current English that we read, right? And it's important because this is how it was translated into what we read now. But reading this, you will see some difference. So when you read the current Bible, it say God, right? But when you read the Hebraic Bible, when it say God made man out of dust, it's Yahweh. Now, if we go back to Genesis 1, we see the Elohim. So these are two different aspects of God creating. The first one was plural, which made man and woman in his likeness and image and sent them forth to be fruitful. That was the Elohim. But now when you look at here, you look at 2:7, it's Yahweh formed the man out of dust and out of the ground. So it's important because the first one was the Elohim, and the second who made Adam was Yahweh. And this is why in the Bible, when you get the people coming out of Egypt, when you get Moses asking, who am I? Who are you? He said, I'm Yahweh. This is the God who made Adam and Eve. This is not the God who made all man. This is the God who made Adam and Eve. So these are the people who got kicked out the gardens, but it was already people in the world. We know that from the story of Cain. Right? We know that from the story of Cain. It was already people in the world. So why are we even talking about all this, right? What's the important part of talking about this? The important part is to know who you are, because there's two type of people here. There's one that were made in the image and likeness, and there's one who was formed from the dust. But then you also got one, you got the seed of the serpent. We take a look at that real quick. Now, I did a whole video on this too. Um, I did a whole video on this too. So when we talk about, and I always say this too, if you look at 2:14, it say so. I mean 3, chapter 3, 4, chapter Genesis 3:14. So the Lord God said to the serpent, because you have done this, curse you. You are cursed. Are you above livestock? Okay, I want to talk. And to the woman, I will make your pains and childbearing very severe. With painful labor, you will give birth to children. So before she bit the apple, it wasn't even no thought about birthing children. Remember, these people was made to tend the garden. God looked and said, I ain't made a man to tend the garden. So that's why these people was made, right? But then they ate from the fruit of knowledge. And see, we can even talk about that, because when God told them not to eat from that tree, he told them, if you eat, surely your days on earth will be done. Meaning you gonna die if you eat. And that's when the serpent said you ain't gonna die, you just gonna know good and evil. And that's what happened. Because Adam lived for like 900 years. So God lied to him. They thought if they ate from the fruit, they was gonna die. They was gonna croak. But that ain't what happened. God told them that because he didn't want them to eat it. Because God knew if they ate it, they'd know good and evil. God didn't want them to know good and evil. God just wanted them to know what he wanted them to know and do what he wanted them to do. Right? They ain't want none of that extra stuff. But because they ate, he put beef between the woman and the serpent. Now listen to what I'm saying. Curse the ground of you to walk the toil to eat from it. Okay, produce and thirst. Hold on, man. Oh, that's what he said to Adam. So, because the woman ate from the tree, he cursed the woman, and he put the man over the woman. The man will rule over the woman. But at the end, look what he told the serpent. He told the serpent, and I will put enemy between you and the woman. So God put beef between the serpent and the woman. Why would God need to even establish that? This animosity between the woman and the serpent, between you and a woman, between your offspring and hers. So hold on, what do you mean the serpent has offspring? What does it mean the serpent has offspring? In the King James version, it say your seed, and we know what seed means. Seed means kids. So this is what I'm telling you. The seed of the serpent, the seed of the devil, these are soulless people. They don't have souls. They don't have souls. So the woman is at constant war with these demons. The women. This is a parable and an allegory, but women, y'all be at spiritual warfare a lot, and these soulless people constantly coming nicking at y'all heel, because that's all they can really do is nick at your heel. But these are these people who you see constantly. This ain't everybody. That's what I'm saying. You got to know who you are. You know, I already know what I ain't come from the dust, bro. I'm made in the image and likeness. King Miller, what up, though, bro? Appreciate you. I'm made in the image and likeness of the Creator. I already know because I go within. I don't seek nothing outside. See, them other people who's made in the garden, them ain't whole people, man. They wasn't made whole. They wasn't made with the masculine and the feminine. They were made from the dust, and they had an animated spirit put in them. You know, they animated them. They put a spirit in them. So them people wasn't made whole. That's why you have some people, you know, out here always looking for the outside to fulfill the inside. You know, they trying to find God on the outside of them and to fill them up. And they wonder why they always empty and they can't never find it. It ain't in you. You know what I'm saying? It's in you, but you looking on the outside for it. Even these people have the potential to have a whole spirit, or what they call the Holy Spirit. Even these people have the potential because God animated them, blew breath into them, so they got the spark too. But they just so used to they got that servitude mind frame, and this is what. Look, I ain't trying to be funny. I'm just showing you something. Well, these people were made to be servants. I mean, it's in the Bible, man. It's comprehension. It's just simple comprehension. Look, I ain't gonna make it rocket science. It's simple comprehension. It literally told you. God looked around and said, I ain't made nobody to tend these fields. And then he made a man out of dust. So what the hell was the man made for? To serve. That's why they didn't know good and evil. But them whole people he told to go be fruitful and gave domain over the earth, them was his whole people. That was the perfect creation. This was just a creation for the garden. And now you got these people that came out who got banished from the garden coming into our world trying to take over and run it. Like, y'all, look, we cool because we all God's creation, but let's be real. We got to keep it 100. Y'all fucked up, right? Y'all not like us. Y'all wasn't made like us. Y'all wasn't made to do what we did. Y'all got kicked out because y'all did something God told y'all not to do. These are the people who are afraid to go to hell. These are the people who got punished. We not them. I'm not. You see what I'm saying? These are two totally different people. These ain't the people who've been getting punished. God didn't. He told us to go forth and be fruitful. He gave us dominion. We got free will. See, we the ones who got free will, right? Not the ones who was made in the garden. Them people didn't have free will. They stole it. They stole it from the tree. They didn't have free will because if they had free will, they would be able to do whatever they wanted to do. And that's what I'm saying. Right there, Gary. My bad. Did I drop the link? Oh, I did. My bad. Let me just pin it. But yeah. So don't let nobody look. You can open a book and read it for yourself, right? But this is a good website that you can go on, and I would tell you to really, if you because it's you lose the a lot of the context when you just read the English version, right? I'm just being honest. You lose a lot of the context, and this is why people can play with the word, right? But when you look at it, what it was originally written in, it makes more sense. When you understand what Elohim is a plural, Elohim is plural. Like, why I keep saying let us? Even when you read the story of the Tower of Babel, right? Again, it says the Elohim. It says the Elohim separated them, confused them, changed their languages, and separated the nation and divided them into different nations. It says the Elohim. That's why I said, let us go down and cause confusion. Let us, not Yahweh. Yahweh didn't do that. Look, man, you have Yahweh, you have El Shaddai, you have Elyon, El Elyon, you have the Elohims, you have different. The best way I can explain this to you is you have different aspects of God, because none of these are names. These are just descriptions. None of them is truly the name. When somebody really asks God, "What's your name?" I am what I am. I am what I am. That's what Yahweh said. How did this get pulled up? You know what? The rabbit hole is deep, because what most people do is wait for people to give them information. And then instead of them taking the information and becoming aware and doing their own reading and studying or putting it to work, they just run with it, right? Because it sounds good. It sounds convincing. It sounds good when you say, oh yeah, we come from Adam and Eve and God said, go forth and be fruitful. That sounds good, but that's not what the Bible said. It sounds good to say, oh, Adam and Eve, because that's the bloodline. They follow. That's the bloodline of Jesus Christ. That's what most people say. That's the bloodline of Jesus Christ is Adam's bloodline, right? But what do it matter if that's Adam's bloodline if Jesus Christ was a supernatural being? Right? What do the bloodline? Why do that matter? You're still trying to make something non-physical physical. Because when you read the Bible, God never had beef with the people he put in the earth originally. Even when he flooded the earth, that wasn't because of the people, that was because of the watchers coming down here making Nephilim, right? The original people never did nothing to God, never disobeyed God. They were divine, like Gary said. It was the other people who was trying to figure it out. It was the other people trying to figure it out. Neffy, what up, sis? So this is so you have to first define what God means to even say if it's one God, if it's two God. You have the divine, you have the creator who created everything. And just like us, it was creations before us that created and kept creating and kept creating and kept creating. Imagine, think about this. God is undescribable, right? It is really undescribable. So if you got this being that's all and nothing at the same time. So I mean, what do you do at that point to really have some form of experience? You have to lessen yourself. So this is the whole aspect of, they say, one divineness. God is within everything. But for God to actually experience, God has to lessen itself. It has to, is a supreme being. So even the stories with God blowing breath, creating things that's so delicate and so squishy and so, think about like God, and then think about human beings. Like we are like so delicate and squishy compared to God, right? We get sick, we lose our eyesight, we get old. God is omnipotent. Like there's nothing, it's forever. It's everything and nothing at the same time. So I mean, how can God actually experience something that's lessening? So our experiences, that's why we were made in the likeness and image of God. That's why we was given an eternal spark, because we are a fragment of the Creator. Like imagine you got a big glass, right? Say you got a glass plate, right? And it's whole. That's God. Now take that and throw it and shatter it into a million pieces. That's us. All those little itty bitty pieces, that's us. God had to kind of shatter itself to have experiences. Lisa J, what up, though? Dre, what up, though? So, like, um, yeah, I don't believe in like one. Um, what up, though, sis?
What up, Nine?
Nah.
What's up? What's up? Where people gonna be scared to hit this link.
I don't know why.
Hit the link. Hit the link. Don't be scared. Hit the link.
I mean, it's information and it's right there. It ain't like we up here making stuff up. No, I'm like read it
No,
right
you're
there.
not. You've been on point. Like I've said, you spoke on these topics before. It's just people got on their and their ego back in the past, right? They couldn't handle what you were saying, so they cried, and where was like, what, I'm gonna give this a break. I ain't forgetting that shit.
And when I did it originally, I couldn't really get into it. We kind of
Yeah,
went
I
off top.
remember everybody was getting mad about this shit. Like, damn, he's just talking, like, and then he's giving his opinion, and he's breaking it down. A lot of us don't even understand the Bible when we read it. That's why I say it's like I say that the Bible is kind of like coded. We have to like decipher the John. It's like a puzzle pieces that you got to put together and figure it out.
And like I said, like it's a lot of it's just simply studying, and like because it's written in multiple languages, and through the I mean, you got to understand what was translated, what was transliterated. There's a lot to go into studying the Bible. It ain't just looking at it or Googling something. But I'm just trying to get some perspective, because like even the words, like the word demut, it means resemble or similar, right?
Yeah.
So the way it's used is used in the context of similar, because it's another word for image, and that word is used. So when you reading it, you have to look, because the Hebrew language is written in characters, right? And those symbols have meanings. So it has a word, but each arch of the symbol means something. That's and those symbols combine into a word. So it's different from English. So like when people be talking, I'll be like, all right, bro. Like we got to get into the information. You know, that's why I say there's levels to it, but I'd be willing to go there because I've been there before. You know, none of this is new to me. This is I've been knowing this stuff for 15, 20 years now.
Yahweh was originally a lesser god in the Canaanite religion, so he was originally a Hamitic god. I feel as though there's more than one God. Like when you read the pages and the passages of the Bible, I swear there's more than just one God. The same way that there's more than one Lucifer. I mean, I don't know. The demons get me confused. But
For what she said is facts. Now, even when you that's why you know I say you have to get into the information because
oh yeah, hey. Remember the last time we spoke, I got as far as to I can't even say his name. They say that they can't find no gods before him. So I was like, damn, I wonder who created him. So if this one created creations before the God that we know in the Bible created us, right? And then when you broke it down, I was like, damn, I knew I wasn't tripping. You had to break it down because I'm like, it feels like it's two different stories. And when I was going down the rabbit hole, remember, I was the reason why you spoke on living people got in a bag about that shit. So I was kind of confused. You got on you got on and you really started speaking about that, John. You got deep into the conversation that day. What was this, like 2 years ago? We had this conversation. I'm like, you spoke about this in
about
the
a year and a half, yeah, it's about almost 2 years ago. And A Shu is the Alpha Hi. Yeah, and what was that? I know in the Ethiopian Bible, there's no Yahweh in the Bible at all. I believe it's the Ethiopian Bible. There's no mention of Yahweh. But
I was looking into that. Why did they say that there's a forbidden Bible? There is a forbidden Ethiopian Bible. Is there more than the Bible that people know in Ethiopia?
yeah, they got 88 books. That Ethiopian, that's look, man. When you talk about them Ethiopian Israelites, those are the true Hebrews, man. The one, man. Look, I ain't gonna get into that, but with those people, they got books that predate that's closer to Coptic time, meaning closer. They have papyruses that's closer to writings on the Egyptian wall.
Oh shit.
They can't carbon date that book.
Oh snap. You know what I found out recently looking into my roots, right? That you was right about when you was talking about Islam and how the bull that first founded the tradition and all that, he didn't know how to read. I was stuck on stupid when I was reacting to the video on the Moors and all that and how they all first got divided. I was like, damn, Word was just, I wanted to say it, but I was like, damn, Word just was talking about this a couple months ago.
Listen, when I tell you, I went to it was like 3 years of my life. I was debating everybody. I'm talking about I was Islam, Judaism, whoever came with it, Kemetic, whoever came with it, I was debating them. I was debating Buddhists. I just knew the information, and if I didn't know it, I knew where to go find what I needed to know.
But I'm just sitting here, like, I mean, like, is they, when all of them got divided, right, and then the Islamics came about and all that, right? All right, he didn't know how to read or write, but when he was telling his stories, he had people that could write down and read, right? So why couldn't they read the writings on the wall and tell him that he was telling lies or he was making shit up? Like, I don't know. See how that shit confuses me?
Man, now see, you have to when you look through history, right? When you look through history, at that time mushrooms was very it was normal for people to take mushrooms. So people was high as hell.
Oh shit.
Yeah, people was high as hell around that time. I'm telling you.
So basically, these people was just like letting demons in, thinking they was doing the right
So
thing.
I'm not gonna, I don't want to disrespect nobody's religion. So
No. I'm saying
no,
in
I
the
ain't gonna
past,
say the
in the past.
name that. Yeah, I ain't gonna say the name that you talking about.
No,
But
they're
my
not the
brother
only
was.
ones. They're not the only ones. I've
No,
noticed
bro.
other tribes have done it too. So it's kind of like basically, all right, people from the past, just came across writings on the wall, not knowing what they was getting into. So I was like, in my way, right? This is my opinion, right? I feel as though that some of them being naive and ignorant, right, to the facts, like some of us now is in the present. I feel as though like they got themselves into some demonic shit because it's like they went towards the evil way. So let me rephrase it better because I was going, straight out there with the thing.
But this is the reality. God created good and evil, right?
Hmm.
And it's a potential. That's what it really is. We all have a potential. So it's what you tap into.
Facts.
You know,
Said this
it's
before.
really what you tap into in life. I mean, but what's good for you might be evil for me, and what's good for me might be evil to you. That's that's literally how life is. It's like um,
But it's
it's
just
not a
so
one size fit all.
that's facts. It's just so crazy that a lot of us, come together and we're like minded on the same shit. I mean, I don't know. That just says something too.
Hmm.
Because where we agree with certain things, other people 100% disagree and get mad.
But see, me personally, I never get mad at information. Like if people don't rock with what I say, I'd be fine with it because um, I know one is not for everyone, and I know two, I understand the path I had to go through. I went through so many different. I practice a lot of these religions. I practice not reading, not researching. I'm talking about actually practice. And I can tell you this: just like if we all go out, right? Say it's seven of us get in a car or get in a van or something, and we experience a car accident. All seven of us go have a perception of what happened, right? And a lot of this is the same thing just told from different perspectives. But you got to understand what a perspective is because a perspective is built upon your experience. So what you have experienced in the past is go dictate how you perceive future and current situations. That's just, you just go look at it. Built. So I'll give you an example. Say if me and you, right? Just using me and you. Say if I've never had experiences with people stabbing me in the back, right?
Mhm.
And you have, right? And we both got a mutual friend,
Yeah.
and this friend start moving funny, right? I might look at it like, oh, this person need help, or they confused. You go look at them like, nah, they about to, because you see what I'm saying. So we go look at the situation totally different because of our past experiences.
Facts. But
So
we're gonna flip
even
that around. You kind of gave yourself the way I am, my personality, and you gave me the way you are, your personality.
and see that, but that's what I'm saying. It's like and it's unique when you can look from another person's lenses. That's unique, and it's that's a skill. That's probably a gift, because most people can't do that. But when you can, you start seeing the world differently, and you understand. Like, look, a lot of these things have similarities for a reason because the origin of it all. You know, I wasn't here when none of this stuff happened. I wasn't. So I
Facts.
can't tell you, I can't say this is first, this is second, this is no, only thing we can, and then any information I look up to say this came first or that came first, that's from a bunch of dead people who not here.
Oh,
So I
damn.
don't know. I mean, I'm just being
You
real.
know.
Like this, like all these people. So that's why I tell people, man, you have to establish a relationship with the creator yourself. Use all these things as being aware. It brings aware, but don't look, man. This is what I learned. I'm just telling you what I learned. I ain't telling nobody what to do. I'm just telling you what I learned. All these people dead, right? I don't know. We can't ask them shit, right? And it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. When somebody writes something, think about this. You write poetry, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So when you write, don't you feel something? And that feeling influences what you write. So if you're having a good day, your poetry gonna sound different from if you're having a bad day, right?
Yeah. But either way,
So
before I'm writing, it's like an anxiety, and if I don't write it down, the anxiety won't go away. It's like thoughts in my head that I got to get out of my chest. It's weird.
I'm just talking about human psychology. Everyone writes for a reason.
No, yeah. But I was telling you,
Yeah,
your point is
yeah,
just crazy how you just said that shit like that.
yeah. But I'm telling you, it's just basic human psychology. It's like our emotions influence everything. You know, they don't tell us this because if they did, then we will get in tune with ourselves and they can't control. That's the easiest way to control someone is through their emotions, right? Say, check this out. Okay, Ryder, you on the rise, right? Your YouTube channel popping, you doing good. You got senators and even diplomats from other countries wanting to come talk to you about the projects you're doing, right? Somebody see that. Okay, yeah, she was just over here with us bullshitting, but now she doing big things. Let me go bash her. Now, if I can get you to react and get these people to look at you in a different light, I can get you to throw away everything you work for.
Mm.
Off
Sounds
of the
familiar.
emotion,
That
though.
shit crazy.
Off of the emotion.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. If I can tap into your emotion, I can get you to crash out. I can get you to do something different. But I'm telling you this because this happened to me. Like when I got out the street, I had a good job working in the hospital, 401k. Like my life changed. I moved out the hood and everything. And a dude I was cool with, he was telling people when he seen me, he was go. And I still worked in my hood. Like my hospital was in my hood. So, and I've been here for like 15 years, man. Everybody know me. The people at the corner store, everybody showed me love. I go to the corner store and get some chicken. They gave me a whole second, order for free. These my people, right? So
Okay.
on my lunch break, and I'm doing good now. So, I'm young and you doing better. You want to show people. So I'm coming back in the hood with my scrubs on. I'm trying to motivate and inspire the people. Like, look what I'm doing. You can do this too. We ain't got to hustle no more. This is my mindset. So I'm still coming back to the hood. So I see him and he like, oh, what up? I just hit him in his mouth. Bow.
Hey, what the hell?
It's off rip. I done had like 8 different people tell me he was gonna hit a lick, and I know him. Like he'd do some crazy shit like that. Like we got into it before. He didn't. He pulled out his gun and put it on his lap. He didn't point it at me, and I'm like, oh, for real? Like, okay, I ain't had my shit, so I ain't dumb. I'm like, all right, man. I see how it is. A lot of people who know me, they don't want to know. They not gonna fight me. They don't want to fight me. If they had to, they probably would, but. If they had something else, they'd use that versus trying to fight me. But anyway, so when I seen him, I just hit him, bow. And I broke his jaw and I didn't know it, but he pressed charges on me. And then my cousin went and talked to his girlfriend, and his girlfriend went and told the police basically he set me up. Like he was telling people he was gonna rob, like he did it intentionally. So he didn't press charges after that came out. But he was about to press charges. They came and got me and everything for assault and battery.
Damn, that shit crazy.
The corner store, there was no tape. There was no tape. The tape went missing.
What the
That's why I
fuck?
said
Wait
them
a
was my
minute.
people. No, man, them my people, man. They looked out. Scorp, what up, though? I'm just being honest, man. It's like in the hood. Look, man, I did anything I could to show love in the hood. I protected a lot of older people. Man, I made my mom told that story on here. Broad daylight, man, I made a car go up in the sky. When they came to put it out, they was asking people what happened. Nobody said nothing. Block full of people. Broad daylight, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I made that mother jump.
You get
Nobody
respect,
said
man.
nothing.
You can get your
But it
respect.
was like, man, I looked out for people.
Yeah.
You just look, man, I was doing bad things, but I was a good person.
He
You
said I was
know,
doing bad things, but I'm a good
I
person.
was a good.
Only
I'm just being real. I'm just being real. You know, I'm my grandmother's grandchild. I'm my mama's son. You know, I did
true.
bad things, but I was a good person, man. I always looked out for people, especially like older people. I always looked out. I remember one time they wouldn't let the Middle Eastern dude out the store. I had to go up there like, man, y'all chill the fuck out, bro, because y'all ain't got what I got in my trunk. Now, if I pop the trunk, we know what's going down. He about to go home tonight. This man ain't did nothing. He ain't no terrorist, man. So y'all chill out. But that was my man. Like when I was young, he hired me. You know, he let me work. You know, so I appreciated that. I only did it for like a couple months, but you know, I appreciated that.
Where it said I'm
Mhm.
from. Listen, I'm a nerd, but I'm from them streets too, man. Y'all listen, y'all don't know. I'm quiet. That's the good, what is it called? The element of surprise.
Man, one of my aliases was it. That's what they
It,
called me. It.
um,
And it was an acronym for intelligent thug. I'm like,
oh,
man, y'all wow. Yeah, they called me it though.
yeah,
I wasn't no dummy. You know, I was yeah, but I didn't I had to, I changed, you know. Even when I was younger, I did a lot of stupid stuff. But then you see the effects of what you do. You know, you see your friends, you know, parents strung out on drugs. You like, oh nah, bro. You know, I had a heart. I couldn't do that, so I ain't messing with that no more. You know, I just flip something to make people smile.
you know,
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, even that, man. And then we ain't allow none of that in the neighborhood. Like, nah, ain't nobody pushing none of that around here. Like when you really see what that do, bro. Like, nah, man. I seen this lady. You know, I ain't even gonna say it. I said it before. Her and the dog. Like, nah, that shit ain't even cool. People laughing. And, like I said, it's different type of people on this planet.
it is though, because listen, like believe it or not, here on Sixth Street, well, my bad, here in the hood, I'm over here giving out locations and shit, right? But
Mm-hmm.
here in the hood, right, it was a point in time a while back where it was heavy. They used to sell, but we got it to the point where this block alone, nobody sells. We got one young bull that when he sees somebody coming out talking about, we got this, we got that, yo, he starts hella trouble for the bull. He makes trouble for anybody that's in that corner to the point that we have to come out and like calm him down. Like, but it's true though, for the past 6-7 years, this has been a block that we've kept clean because we've been a community together. That's what I'm like, when you get respect and you talk to people, find ways to, get along and curb the bullshit, you can get shit done. But this block, out of like all the blocks around me, is the only block that doesn't sell drugs. That's the crazy part. And how we got the young bulls together. I wish we could do that and do it further. Like never in my lifetime did I ever think that I would inspire, motivate, or have young bulls under my wing. You see where I'm coming from? I
Mm-hmm.
was somebody who used to lash out a lot. Like I didn't care until I had my kids. So I get where you're coming from. Like I used to, like I was never. How can I say it? I'm gonna always be a sidewalk chick, right? And what I mean by that is that I hung around a lot of people that was a part of the streets, and they protected me. You see where I'm coming from? Like I had big brothers and I had big sisters. No matter what, they never once let me be a part of that. They always found ways for me to make my money somewhere else. Bro, shit. I've had people where like my baby pops was one of them. When he walked into my life, I was 20, going on 21, the same thing. Not once did he let me get around that shit. That's why I said I've never really needed or nothing. I've had an angel on my shoulder my whole life, and I was acting like a damn dope. And that was my anger though. Like word has spoke about that. Like I ran on emotions a good part of my life, and I regret it because it affected my firstborn in a way, and I never knew it. That's the crazy part. Like I got to take accountability on that part. Like I was young, naive, and stupid.
And that's the important thing is to recognize and understand and adjust. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's what the past is for. Like it ain't for you to get hung up on. It's for you to learn and adjust from.
That's a fact. Because I was carrying an anger I should have let go of me for like almost 15 years, I could say. I should have been let go of that anger, but I just didn't know how to forgive. And then at the same time, I like I tell people, like it was a point in time I didn't understand the Bible. I didn't know how to pray. I don't even, I talk to God. I say things, but I still this day I could be honest and say I really don't know how to pray because I don't get it. But I talk. Like this old
Look,
lady told me one day, you don't have to pray, Ray. Just talk to them. Tell him what you want.
man, look, I'll tell you this. I don't pray. I give thanks. I pray. I praise.
He said,
You
I
know,
pray.
because everything is already given, man. I'm telling you, like things I've been through in life, I never had to ask for. Like
That's
even when I lost my sight, like my wife said, she said today, she's like, if I found, like she said, if I had a genie and had 3 wishes, and she looked at me, I said, you would not wish for my eyesight back. And she was like, yes, I would. I said, I don't want it back. I don't need it.
mm,
It was taken for a reason, and that reason, um, it has me. Look, man, I'm telling you, it gave me a deeper understanding, like a deeper appreciation for life. Really,
facts. Your past made you who you are right now. So if it wasn't for your past, you wouldn't be the man right now standing or speaking, to people, giving the advice that you give right now.
I wouldn't accept a lot of things if I didn't lose my eyesight. A lot of things. I mean, it happened to me for a reason. So,
Mm-hmm.
and it made me a better person. I mean,
Yes.
believe it or not, it gave me limitations, but it slowed me down. Man, I was moving too fast. I was doing too much. Man, I wasn't spending time with my kids and wife. I'm trying to. Now I am. You know. Um, Now I'm enjoying the fruits of my labor. I got the fruits of my labor and wasn't enjoying them. I was going out trying to get more. You know what I'm saying? Instead of enjoying what I had. So
And that's,
now I'm doing that, and life is bliss, man. You got ups and downs and stuff like that. That's a given. But where
yeah,
I'm at in life, man, I'm at peace.
that's a fact. And it's the choices that we make that land us where we at too. Like I tell people, like I had so
Mm-hmm.
many opportunities. Like I'm not gonna sit here and dwell on that shit. Like so many opportunities to do and accomplish what I want to accomplish right now. But once again, like I said, I let my anger get the best of me when I was younger, when I had it. Like people get mad at me when I say I'll rip $100 bill and throw that shit in the trash. They're like, "Oh, listen, money come and goes. The ones you love, you can't get that shit back." You see where I'm coming from? So it took for God to take away the ones that I really cared about to show me. You see where I'm coming from? That at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you rich or poor. Like, in order to get forward, you have to let go. You can't hold on to that past. Holding on to that past is going to hold you back. And I had to learn the hard way. That's why I'm not mad. People are like, you don't get mad? No, I'm not mad that I have to start from zero. If anything, I'm humbling my ass down and doing it right this time. Get mad for what? Like, you get tired of being mad and get tired of doing dumb shit. We grown. Like, we're not little kids no more. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, people got so much hypocrisy. They say the Bible this, the Bible that. But if y'all read the Bible, then y'all being the hypocrites. Because y'all doing the complete opposite of it. Shit, my whole life I thought I was perfect until I found out I was sinning. You see my point? I'm like, damn, I'm sinning? Real shit. That set me down. I'm like, damn.
People need to stop reading and start practicing.
Real
But
shit.
did you hear Toothless Tiger passed away?
Oh, I didn't know her that much, but yeah, I heard about her. I mean, I don't. At first, I thought it was a joke because it was people that was,
Yeah, man. I
talking
thought
about.
I was, bro. When I first seen that, I'm like, oh, like this real, like man, people, bro. I don't play with energy like that, man.
Yeah,
I don't
because I
care.
mean, there was people that was down in this lady, so I didn't know.
I don't play with no dead.
I just recently found out. I think it was a couple weeks ago. I was like, oh shit, because I used to watch her in the beginning, but then I stopped watching when all the beef started. I liked her in the beginning.
Yeah,
But I stopped watching, so I didn't even know until I heard somebody say rest in peace to her like 2 weeks ago.
I didn't even know it was 2 weeks ago. I just seen it was yesterday. And then when
I found out
the person I say something, I'm like, I don't know, man, because they just be saying wild shit all the time. And then I seen like 2 more other people say it today, and I'm like, oh damn. So that's lady DJing to, I mean, Papa Will fighting for his life. I mean, bro, life is life, man. We can be
Uncle
here
Will
one
fighting for
second.
his life, you said?
Man, Papa Will.
I mean, Papa Will. I said Uncle Will. You hear me? What the hell? I don't even know why I said it like that. That's because I'm over here like, hey, damn. Life is too short. I keep telling everybody, like, man, life is too short. And people want to sit here, man, I just want some peace. I want to fall back and enjoy my kids. Like I tell everybody, I ain't got time for the bullshit. None of that. Like,
yeah, hey, Shu, I'm telling you, I seen it. I ain't gonna say the dude name, but him and this the guy that she was suing, I seen him saying some stuff, and I'm looking like, I don't know, man, because he be saying some wild stuff sometimes. But then I seen like 2 other content creators say something, and I'm like, oh man, like that's crazy, you know. But yeah, I wanted to, like, she had a lot of information, but that just goes to show, like, you can have so much potential and things to offer, and you can get distracted and caught up in some BS real quick and easy. Just dealing with the wrong people, man. That's why I stay in my lane, bro. I'm good, man. Because I didn't have shit happen on here, and I'm looking like I don't even know how you see or think I'm doing some shit like that, but I'm good. If you look, I learned my lesson. If you think I'm a shady person, I'm not even gonna deal with you. If you think I'm shady and shit like that, I'm good, man. We cool. If you think I'm gonna stab me in your back and do it, look, man, I'm straight, bro. I'm good. Because eventually it's gonna be a problem. That happened. Like I'm like, bro, I'm not even like out of all people, bro. Like I don't be over here gossiping about nobody. I don't be doing videos on nobody. I don't do none of that shit, man. I laugh at it, but I don't do it. I don't part. You don't see me in nobody chat talking about, hey, this. I don't do none of that shit, man. I got kids at home. I got babies, man. I can barely see. I got a lot of shit on my plate, right? I ain't about to come on here and do no fuck shit. I ain't got time for it, man. I'm on some real adult type shit when I come on here. Like, I mean, I ain't knocking what nobody do. I'm just saying, Tamika, what up, sis?
Listen, the word taught me a lot, right? Because listen, the first go around when I went through some shit in here, I didn't even know. I I knew of the word, but I didn't even know the word. You see, I don't know if y'all understand me. But if it wasn't for Nate the Great Podcast and the word, you see what on my first incident here on YouTube, man, I really wouldn't have. I think the old me would have came out, the hood me, on some real shit, because they really talked to me on some real shit, like some Big Brother type shit. Because the second time when I went through this shit, I did good, and I know people did reactions because people was talking, so it's kind of like, fuck it. I was able to continue and focus on doing what I was doing, and it was thanks to that first conversation that I had with Word and Nate, because they both pulled me to the side. Well, not even to the side because we live, right? So, I mean, I hope y'all get my point, but yeah, they held a whole conversation with me. We had a whole live together, and they really talked about, like, I was confused because really, you gotta mind you, I wasn't used to this in this sector. I was used to the other stuff, and I was here on some real positive shit. And I'm still the same way. It's just that now I speak up a little more, and now, I'm on that I don't give a fuck no more type shit. Like, let it be. It is what it is. If you mad, you mad. I had to learn. Not every, like he said, what was it the last time we talked? You had a second talk with me. He said you got to treat YouTube like the streets. I'm like, oh shit. You gotta be fucking kidding me. I don't even know these motherfuckers. At least in the streets, I know them. You see my point?
Nah, there's some blocks you don't go down, and that's just how it is.
You had to break it down.
Rich, what up, though, my guy?
I get it. But, when you on here, you don't think about it like that because you're not, you see where I'm coming from. It's like, what the fuck? This is social media. You're on here just to, get entertained. Not to sit here and make a fool. But I guess that's how people make their money. Don't get
me. Man, you know what? I like to tell this story because, man, this was like the eye opener for me. I didn't, like, when I was supporting a content creator, and they let some people up on the panel, and it's two black men just going at it. And I've been listening, so I'm like, man, look, I got mediating skills, I got mediating training. Like I do this in real life. So this is a simple misunderstanding. Let me go up here and because this is I'm looking at it like, man, this is an opportunity. We can show two black men getting, having a difference and putting it to the side. This can be the example that people need to see. Man, I got up there. They was like, look, man, you sound like you a cool dude, but no, we for the shit, bro. Well, no, this content. I'm like, what? I'm like, I never did that again. I would never, because I'm like, hold on, bro. Like, this the content. And I'm looking like, oh, shit. Okay, I understand now. Like, y'all want to do this. Like, y'all two grown-ass men arguing. Like, bro, that's weird, man. Like, this type of person I am. You can't be loud around me. I don't like when I was younger and people get loud, I hit them in the mouth. That's just how I would. No, I'm being sick. Like, man, if you talk to some people who know me, I was one of them. They'd be like, oh, D around, y'all got to cut. I would hit you in your mouth. I'd be like, hey, man, that's too loud. Bow. Do something.
He got like Brandy gets when she's protecting her brother. Yo, I'm sorry.
But hey, shoot, look, man.
I'm gonna put this in your mouth.
Look, I came up under some. I've always been under older people, right? Like some OGs. That's what I came. I'm used to being around like older people. Like even when I was a kid, I was brought up around like older people. My grandma and my uncles. They older, like 60, 70-year-old people. And then when I moved to Detroit, I'm around some OGs who used to hustle back in the 80s and 90s. I'm hanging around old pimps. This is my environment, right? So I'm not used to men yelling and screaming at each other. Only time I'm used to hearing men scream is at kids. Like that's the only time, like growing up, I heard men yell and scream was at kids. Not even women. Like I used to hear my uncle be like, "Hey, calm down." That's the most, talking to like my aunt or something like that.
That's because growing up, I think a lot of shit was kept on the DL. People,
Man,
I'm sorry, not with our parents. I'm just saying, in general.
I'm talking about now, dudes ain't do all this stuff. Like in the street, if somebody, like if we was hanging out and somebody said, "Oh, I got you, I'll be right back," they wouldn't even make it to the car. You can't say shit. It was your words had consequences. Like that's how I'm used to. Like when these people be like, "I'm street," I'm like, "What street you from?" Because you too damn flamboyant. You talk too goddamn much.
You was born.
I ain't never in my life been around no street people to talk this goddamn much. Because the ones who do talk, they ass in jail. So I ain't never like this whole thing is weird to me until so now when I see people I be like, that's content. That's just what it is. Like they putting on the show. Like it's like this that Sambo shit. Like that's how I look at it. Like that shit just weird, man. If you go get busy, we go get busy. But I'm not about to tell you. I'm not about to look, man. If I was the type of person, I'd be like, all right, man, you got it. Motherfuckers get scared. When I said that, people got scared because they be like, he about to come back and do some crazy shit. If I be like, all right, man, you got it, and I leave, oh yeah, it's gonna get spooky. That's what I'm used to. It's like you telling on yourself, bro. Like I don't know. This shit just weird.
Remember the other day that I asked you, I said, do you believe, right? I don't know. Do you believe that, how a lot of people is blaming the smart TVs, the technology, the music and all that? Do you believe it's still that? But you broke it down and you said, no, maybe back then, but you said that now people just doing it willingly. So it's kind of like, what is making people really like? I feel as though like we live around psychopaths. Like I don't know if I'm saying it right, but
sociopaths. Probably a lot of these people have. A lot of these people have mental illnesses. I'm not lying. I'm not trying to be funny. A lot of these people, they may see. Look, I'm not trying to be funny. Go get y'all a DSM book. I promise you. Go get a DSM. I'm trying to say this shit with a straight face. A lot of these people I listen to on this internet, they got issues, man. A lot of people have what they call post-traumatic embitterment disorder. A lot of people are bitter of things that happened in their past that they didn't fix, and they just walking around angry all the time. They get a lot of bitterness in them, and it translates to other aspects of life. You know, if you wake up bitter, whatever happens around you, you're gonna be upset. You're already upset. You're already feeling some type of way. Now everything around you is intensifying because you already like, man. You ever see people get upset for no reason?
Yeah, my ex-mother-in-law.
They bitter, and then they start telling you what somebody did to them. Like, hold on, bro, they dead. You still mad at this shit? Like, man, I be listening to people like, oh man, bro, that shit happened like 20 years ago. Like, is man.
They said that too. Yo, that's some real shit. She said that on your panel too. Yo, what Tay said. Yo, she has said this shit in the past too. Yo, I'm dead. She ain't gonna change her mind either. I see. Yo, she said,
look, man, I'm not trying to be funny, man, and I'm not laughing at nobody. I'm just saying, like, people. And they will find reasons to justify their bad behavior. They will find reasons to justify the way they feel, to do what they do. Just like, look, man, if I come on, it's times where I came on here and I apologize because I got upset, okay, and I was talking more aggressively than I normally do, and people was like, you don't need to apologize, but I do because I need to take accountability. I can't be sitting here talking about emotional intelligence and I lose my cool, even if it's for a brief second. I have to be the poster boy, the example. So I had to take accountability because that's not normal. And it was other shit that occurred that day, and I was on the tip already. So I'm just being real. You know, if it was any other day, I wouldn't have lost my composure, but I did. Even some people didn't even notice it, but I did. And I knew what I did. So, but I'm used to any little thing that I do. You ask my wife if I did something like, damn, my bad. Okay. I learned, I used to beat myself up when I made mistakes. And the reason I did that is so I can learn from it. I don't have to beat myself up no more. But that's the process I use to take accountability, to make sure I didn't make the same mistake over and over and over, you know. But like this stuff weird, bro. It's family members beefing on it. I'm like, man, y'all wild as hell, bro. Like,
I think I know what you're talking about. That shit came. I don't even watch that person, but I mean, I watched the big one. Let me say it like that, just in case, I don't know, but I think I know. Am I thinking right? Right, we're on the same page. I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't watch the little one.
I can't, man. Is
but I don't watch the big one all the time. I watch him when he's out giving a message.
I had to pull back from all that. Like, man, I ain't even really been on YouTube. I ain't gonna lie, I be ghost watching you all the time. I be listening to you all the time. Gary, hey, I don't really watch nobody, man. I had to, when I took that break in December, man, my mind was so clear, and it's so like, I don't have drama in my real life. I really don't. Me and my wife get along. Me and my family get along. The people I don't get along with, we get along by just standing out each other way. That's just, I don't have drama. I don't have beef. I don't have people. I don't have none of that. So to come on here and have it, that shit weird, bro. Like, I'm good, man. I don't know these people for me to be upset at you about. If you feel some type of way, okay, you can feel that way over there. I'm gonna stay over here, and we good. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I am.
Listen, I tried ignoring and I ended up with a stalker. As you can see, that's what caused that second incident. Like, they found me and I was co-hosting with somebody and that shit just exploded. Like, what the fuck? Even ignoring motherfuckers doesn't work sometimes. Like, you don't fuck with nobody, but motherfuckers find a way. They just get mad over opinions, like I said. Like,
that's wild.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you get stalkers on this shit, and I got a stalker for talking about men's rights. Imagine that one. Like, what the fuck? You in your bag because I'm speaking on men's rights. I feel as though they got rights too. We got rights, so listen, we want to be like men so much, but we can't, it's hard to break it down because what I want to say, I can't say. I've already, you know what? But we know what I'm trying to say because I've said it before, but my video got taken down. So, but my whole point is like, shit, we want them to do way more than what we are willing to do for them sometimes. And I'm not saying every woman. You see where I'm coming from? But some women are like, I don't know, too entitled, thinking that they could be better than a nigga. And they be the ones on fucking welfare too. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I mean, look, man.
I got two boys, and I'm not just speaking as a woman. I'm speaking as a mother. Like, these females out here is out of pocket. Like, I don't know if it's the feminist activist, the group shit that's got us divided like this. But listen, man, y'all got rights too. I'm tired of that shit. My son got rights. My other son got rights. Like, every man out here got their rights, but females think that we're the only ones entitled. And I'm not saying all of us. Like, listen, man, I'm just speaking of it in general, right? If a shoe fits, wear that itch. And if it doesn't apply, just let that shit fly.
Yeah, man, I don't be I'll be honest with you, man. With all that man and women rights, look, you come try to take any right from me and see what happens. That's just how I feel. I ain't about to argue with I don't care with nobody. Look, man, I create a nice little bubble for me and mine, right?
Yep.
And I defend that bubble. And the reason I do that is because everything outside of it is weird and crazy. Like, it's the stuff that people, like, it's family members beefing over Democrat and Republican, man. I'm like, hold on, bro. Y'all don't know these ninjas, man. Y'all can't pick up the phone and call, but y'all beefing over. Like, let it go, bro. It ain't even that serious. Like, we find so many reasons to be divided, even like with religion. Like, okay, you go worship over there, worship over here, but when we need to get stuff done, let's meet in the middle. Okay.
Let me ask you a question. You just brought that up. Religion. Do you believe that the Europeans invented religion, or do you believe that in the beginning, when the Africans, it was just the Africans and the indigenous people and shit like that? Well, I'm guessing Europeans and Spaniards were around, right? But they didn't know of each other. Do you believe that they had their own religion already before they gave them the Bible?
I don't believe in nothing. I mean, there's no, like, religion is like, even the construction of the word means to bind. What are you bound to? A book. Mm-hmm. Religion, like, even the way people don't even, if you like Islam, people say Islam is a religion, or Buddhism. They say it's not a religion, it's a way of life. Like, even the Hebrews, that's not a religion, that's a way of life. Religion is people who say they believe in God and just wait to go to church on Sunday, and after that they don't do nothing. That's religion to me. But when you're talking about these people like the Israelites, like even Muslims, Buddhists, people, it's a way of life. It's not even a religion.
Difference, right?
So it's that word itself. They're not bound to no one book. It's bigger than a book. The book gives them, awareness, guidance, or direction, but it's their practices, is what they do. You have people saying, "Oh, I'm Christian," then doing the devil work the next minute.
They asked me that question, but I don't have a religion. If you know me, right, or you've heard me talk before, I don't have a religion. So my best go-to is over here, the Book of Knowledge. The Tree of Knowledge. Hey, what's up, Tree of Knowledge? So no, let me stop.
And see, I practice, even I believe in the 5 pillars. Like, when we talk about belief, the practices that I do, like, the 5 pillars of Islam, like, I believe in that. I practice that. And that's without knowing what I'm going to get out of practicing it. But the more I practice it, I get a peace. So I know the benefits of it. My aunt, I practice my aunt, those 42 ideas. It gives me balance, it gives me consciousness, because like even like a lot of this religion stuff I study academically. So that's why I talk about it the way I talk about it. But at the same time, I don't take no one's beliefs from them. I won't take it from them. I can talk to them from their understanding too, and sometimes I can help enlighten them in their own doctrine to help them. My life coaching. I'm a spirituality coach. I got 2 Christian people who we walk through the Bible. You know what I'm saying? I help them understand different aspects of the Bible. So, I don't tell them like Christianity is bad or none of that. No, if that's what they practice, yeah, I can help you. So I don't knock what nobody practice, or I just tell people to practice, practice it. Do it. Don't just believe in something. No, actually walk the walk. When you talk about the story of Job, look what Job was given everything, and then everything was taken. He never questioned God why. He just kept praising God. But people say they believe in God, and then they go through a bad experience and they ask God why, or they don't believe in God no more because, oh, why would God do this? People even say, well, why would God let kids get hurt? Is it God letting kids get hurt, or is it y'all humans allowing these kids to get hurt? Why y'all blaming that shit on God? God ain't got nothing to do with what mankind do. Like, he supposed to come in and intervene. Why don't you intervene? Like, I don't look like when people say that, I'll be like, well, what do you mean? Why would God let children be this? Or if this was an all-caring God, why would, like, what do you mean? That's not God doing that. That's people.
Facts. You sound like
And why is the people around them not protecting them? Let's talk about that.
It's like this guy that was talking on a panel the other day. I don't know who the heck. I be watching so many people, but he just said something similar to what you just said. Somebody asked him the question, right? If God was so good, why would he, let people get hurt, or why would he send people to hell? The bull said, God's intention for hell wasn't for mankind. It was for the falling angels. I don't know how the heck he explained it, so I don't know how true that is. But you just said
You want me to
similar to him, so. I'm like,
you want me, bro? Look, we information, bro. You don't want to start talking about hell. Man. Look, I ain't even go.
But you just said that's why I'm like, people be questioning so much instead of just doing the research. So that's like, you made a good point, and it just reminded me of certain things that I'll be watching elsewhere. You made a real good ass point. But like he said, I don't know how true it is. So I don't know if his intentions was, for the flames to be for the angels or whatever it was, the demons. But can you go to hell? I don't know. That's a question I can't answer. I don't even know.
Go to hell.
Shit. I'm being honest. Like,
I'm gonna be honest. If you want to go to hell, go ahead. I mean, enjoy. Shit.
Who, me?
No, I'm just saying. Period.
Oh, I'm like, wait, I don't even know.
Oh no, you can go to hell too. You ain't gotta look, man. Look, let me show you something. You ain't gotta die to go to hell.
I don't think about that. That's the crazy part. I'm like,
nah, man, y'all tripping, man. You want to go to hell? Hold on, let me show you something.
I'm like, people be having me thinking. I'm like, damn, what the hell?
Somebody.
Tay, what up, man?
Tay, eat y'all.
What up, y'all? Excuse my voice. I lost my voice, y'all.
Oh man, everybody getting sick.
I'm not even sick though. It's
Oh, you
just
not?
no, I'm not sick. No. It's just I guess my vocal cords. I don't know. I messed them up, man. I don't know.
Somebody made you bring the hood out in them. That's what it
Well,
was.
because where I work at too, and then I talk a lot, and I got to use my voice. And so every day it's just like I'm straining them more and more and more. They can't rest.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I don't know. Hopefully I get better.
Hopefully you do. Yes, yes, ma'am. But I know everybody getting sick though. Like I thought you was getting sick when you said that, because that's all I've been hearing lately. Everybody's like, I got a virus. I'm sick. I got the sniffles.
So,
Somebody went and took the flu shot because they thought they had the flu. I'm like, what the hell?
so when I tell you, like when you study things, you get a different perception, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even gonna say perception. You get a perspective, right? So when we talk about hell, especially when you read it in the Bible, um, so the word for hell is
You could read that.
uh, Gehenna. In Hebrew is Gehenna, but this is the thing. That's a real physical place, right?
Wait, what?
It's in Jerusalem. Yeah, it's
Oh shit!
called in English. It's called the Hymnal Valley, right? I'm just showing you the etymology of the word. I'm gonna take you through something real quick. I did a video on this. I believe I did. Didn't I do a video on this thing? If I
Yep,
didn't,
you did.
okay. So
I call all your
in
chakras, not this one.
So it's safe to say
so
that hell is really on earth.
It is. Hell is a physical place, and they used to do some. Even in the Bible, you heard of Morat, or what else do they call them? Uh, Baalzebub, Morat. But this was a place, Moloch. This was a place they used to literally southwest of Jerusalem, where according to Jeremiah 6, children were sacrificed to Moloch. Like this was a real physical place where they did a lot of sacrifices at, and they
So,
called the place hell. So this was hell in the Hebrew writing before it was a physical place where they did all this fuck shit at. In Hebrew literature, not the Bible, but Hebrew literature. This is a documented place in history where they did fuck shit at, where people sacrificed, a place called hell.
Do
And
people
then
still go
later
visit this
on in the
place?
Christian Bible, you get a hell as a spiritual place, but this was a physical place. Um, and you can also, I give you a reference if you want to go, uh, if you go get the Compact Bible Dictionary, right? Hold on, let me see if I can Google it and show you. So, like when you study, this is one of the resources you get when you study theology. Um, and people who know stuff like this, like man, they can they can run all types of game on you, bro. So
yeah,
check this out. This is a reference. It's $6.99. You can get one for $6.99. But in this book, let me see if I can pull up. Uh, I get mine is actually in storage right now. That's not it. That's the Valley of the Sun. That's not the. I was trying to pull up. I might have to pull the whole PDF up and go through it. I'll probably do that one day. I can pull it up, or I just get the book and physically show y'all. I gotta start getting the stuff out of storage anyway. But you can go get this compact Bible. Like if you really want to get into it and understand like these different, even like different words in the Bible, different parables and allegories. This right here, it'll break all that down. But then you start looking through history and see when hell, because hell ain't, when they were speaking of hell in the Old Testament, they were talking about a physical place. They wasn't talking about a place where you go after you die. No, they were saying where you go get, where you get punished for sinning. Now this is what I'm saying. When you read the Bible, you went to hell to be punished for sinning. They didn't say you died. That didn't come into the New Testament.
Mm.
When they say you died and your soul went to hell. But before that, if you sinned, oh no, you go to hell and you get punished. You get sacrificed. That was
So
a real thing back in the day.
is that where God sent the devil allegedly when he said he was going to walk amongst the humans on one passage in the Bible? I don't even know what passage that was.
Even that.
That shit, I don't know. I just remember
Like,
that.
that
I wonder,
is
does that have to do
like
with that? Like,
but when people say that, you know how bad they contradict themselves, because when God cast the devil out of heaven, he sent him to a bottomless pit. So if you fall into a bottomless pit, how the hell do you get out of bottomless pit? It's bottomless. You keep falling and falling and falling. There's eternal falling. There's a bottomless pit, and you thrown into it. So how did the devil even get out of that? Like, that don't make sense. That's why I say things contradict itself. Like, and then you get chained. Like, hold on, bro. How you get? I thought you was in a bottomless pit, and you chained. What did you chain to in a bottomless pit? Like, let's like, bro. So
and then he's
that's
down
what
there fooling with all types of people.
But then you got to look through history and see who's the authors of these stories, because they be taking one story and mixing it up with another story and regurgitating it to you. Like, man, like, look, all that was they was trying to define or explain the devil at that point in time in history. Because before that, there wasn't no real explanation. It was
Because I was trying to compare the Old Testament and the New Testament, but they're different.
because then people tell you the Watchers are the fallen angels. Like, hold on, bro, what? The fallen angels was the angels cast out from heaven when they tried to take it over with the devil. The Watchers are the people God sent here to watch over the humans. Those not the same people, bro. What is y'all talking about? Like, man, I done heard so many. Like,
There's a
man,
lot
I
of
don't know.
stories. I remember when you were
Like,
saying it when I was reviewing and reacting to the stories. What the hell is that? Oh shit,
what
that's a
up,
baby.
though? You must be talking about the book of Revelation. And what up, though? We on live. Like, even so, that's Jeremiah, actually. I think when they talk about is that Jeremiah when God cast the devil uh out of heaven? Because I think it's Jeremiah, old morning star, Lucifer, how far you fallen, and telling the story when God cast them out. But then, like, when you start reading the book of Enoch or you read the book of Giants, um,
It's
they're
different.
talking about, yeah. So and then, like I said, is the translation and it's just a transliteration. That's why, like, if you talk to like Jewish people or Israelites, that's why they don't be rocking with a lot of they don't rock with the New Testament at all. They stick to the Torah and the Talmud. That's what they stick to. They don't rock with the New Testament.
I do know everybody keeps
It's
telling
too
me
much.
the Old Testament, but there's only one person that I have around me that has the Old Testament, and I have to go to that person to compare
No,
something.
you got it. You got it. The Old Testament is the king is in the New Testament. The first 6 books is the Old Testament.
Oh shit, for real?
First 22 books. First 22.
Oh shit, she's got a
Yeah.
whole Bible and it's old as hell. Like
Genesis.
it's got
Yeah,
so much
Genesis.
chapters to it, and it's different from the New Testament.
Yeah. The New Testament is just is like what Jesus came through. That's the New Testament. Is anything with Jesus in it is the New Testament. Anything referencing Jesus and uh, so like Palms, Galilee, all that stuff is Old Testament. Mark, Matthew, Luke, John, all that's New Testament. But even Revelations, is multiple people wrote a book of Revelation. Timothy wrote a book of Revelation. John is the author of Revelations, or said, but John is another is a apocryphal text of John's Revelations. It's called the Hidden Revelations of John. So it's more to what he wrote supposedly, but
Okay.
then people start, at that time, man. Like when you look, man, I don't really rock with all the Greeks and shit like that. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I just don't. I don't rock with them like that, because what they did, like the oldest New Testament you can find is written in Greek. It's not written in Hebrew. It's not written in Aramaic. So who wrote it? The Greeks. Like, man, so like somebody was trying to debate me on that, and I'm like, bro, show me any of those writings in Aramaic. Show me it in Hebrew, shit. In old Hebrew, not this new shit, not the Yiddish, but the old Hebrew. Show me the New Testament. You can't, because the oldest form is the Masoretic text, and that's written in Greek. So the Greeks wrote that shit, man. Josephus. Yeah, man, that's a whole nother can of worms we got to talk about, because we'd be debating about what Josephus was and who he was and what he really did. And
No, man, what has me thrown off is that video that I'm watching about the oldest Ethiopian Bible that they don't want us to know about. I was like, damn.
Yeah, because they got Enoch in there. They got the Book of Giants is in there.
What comes first, the Ethiopian Bible or these Bibles?
Definitely the Ethiopian Bible is written on papyrus. It's written on papyrus. So all of them, I mean, all of the scrolls, but the Ethiopian Bible is actually a book that they put together. Before that, it was just written on scrolls. But this is what you got to understand. Like, back then, like the reason those Ethiopians who got that, those are fucking Levites. Like, those are the ones. That's what I'm telling you. Like,
What's
those
that?
are Levites. Those are the people ordained to preach God's word. Everybody ain't supposed to be reading the Bible, man. That's not how it was set up. No, man. It was an ordained group of the 12 tribes of Judah was supposed to, and that was the Levites. They were ordained to preach and to teach. And those lessons were the lessons that they preached and taught was taken throughout the other 12 tribes. But that's who were ordained to do the preaching and the teaching. They were like gatekeepers of the Bible, you know. So, like, before the Catholic Church, the Bible was not mass produced and given to everybody. It was written on scrolls. The only people who had a thing that looked similar to a book was the Levites, and that's because they made it. So yeah, that's it's history with that, man. It's history with it.
See,
And when you start learning that, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, a lot. It started making
got me
sense.
interested, yo. I was debating on reviewing and reacting to them videos. I'm about to now because they sent me a whole lot of them about, with the history videos that I'm reviewing and reacting to. So I was like, damn, I think I'm about to. You got me interested. But I want to read, but see, I don't know how to read Ethiopian. So how do we?
It's not even written in Ethiopian. It's written in Hebrew.
It is? Yeah, the original Ethiopian Bible?
Yeah. Look, man, what do you think? Look, man, what do you think them Ethiopians was? Where do you think Israel is? That shit is Ethiopia.
I'm over here thinking that's a whole other language or something.
Israel. That's, man. We have to get into some crazy shit. But I need my information. I'm not just about to sit here and tell y'all something and tell y'all. I don't never tell y'all just believe me. But I get into it. I keep saying I'm gonna go to my man. If y'all seen it, like, this is what I'm saying is man. I can have a conversation with people, but ain't no debating me. You be a bad motherfucker like Seti. I wouldn't even fuck with General Seti because he know way more than I do. But you got to be on that level for me to shut the hell up or to put me in my place. I'm just being real, like, cause like I can get into it. But Seti on the whole, he studied with he studied with Dr. Ben. You know, my teacher studied under Seti. The dude who taught me studied under Seti. So that's just paying homage to Seti. If Seti is a bad General Sarasu, that's a bad motherfucker. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, when it comes to this information, that's a bad motherfucker. Him and like people be tripping on him because he believe in flat Earth, but shit. He one of probably the best synchronists I ever experienced. And that's why did I forget his name? Browns. What's my man name?
Who's James Smalls?
Tate. What's his name? Debate James Smalls. I don't even know who James Smalls is. But if if he want to debate, there's not a lot of people on the debate. Like I said, especially when you get into the information.
Oh, I don't know who James Smalls is. So.
Even when you talk about the the coffin text, even when they talk about the Kemetic, I done told some Kemetic assholes up too. I can
Wait,
get
what
into that too. The Kemetic science. Because a lot of that stuff,
But I haven't heard of none of this yet.
a lot of the Kemetic information people got today come from Dr. York. A lot of it do. I got all Dr. York scrolls except for 2. I got every Dr. York scroll except for 2. I got all Dr. Ben's books. I got all Dr. Clark's books. Like, these are people who I studied. So, even in Dr. York, like, I'm not praising that man or not. He was just he was good with the information. But a lot of his information was when you practice, you see things differently.
See, I don't got all these Bibles. The Bibles that I got are regular Bibles. Like, they got that.
Shaka Atmos. Yeah, Shaka cool too. Yeah, Shaka cool too. I like Shaka. Shaka got when you stick them people weird though, man. They be doing too much, man. A lot of them dudes be doing too much, man. Just like it'd be a hustle, man. I'm just being real. A lot of them dudes be hustling the shit out of y'all with that religious shit. They do, man. They hustle.
I don't have one.
Real.
Listen, I didn't get into arguments. They got into their own arguments because I leave people with their words in their mouth. I don't have a religion. Like, people want to convert me so bad. That right there pisses me off. I'm like, why are you trying so hard? You ain't gonna convert me to shit.
Man, I have so much fun when Jehovah's Witnesses come over my house. My wife be like, why you do that?
I tell them I'm Muslim. They walk away. I learned.
Yeah.
I don't listen. I'm sorry. I don't mean to, but y'all saved me from that. Like, I don't mean to say it. I know I'm not.
No,
That's the only way I can get them to go.
Man, I remember. I think I told that story when I first moved to Michigan. I was staying with my cousins, and my auntie was like, "Them people at the door." Man, my cousin went and got a towel, put it around his head. He was like, "Watch this." He opened up the door, was like, "Assalamu alaikum," and they like dip. I'm like, they say, yeah, anytime they come around, they don't like Muslims. I was like, oh, for real?
Oh, that's why. Oh shit.
Yeah, they got ghosts. They got skinny, man. They was out. I was like, oh shit.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but shit, they don't come back they ain't came to my house in months now. They sent their little preacher dude. Well, I don't know if he was like a junior preacher or something. And I'm like, you really believe in that book? He was like, yeah. And I was like, are you from the tribe of the Levites? He looked at me. I was like, how you go tell me about this book and you ain't a Levite? He never came back.
You know what's crazy? My mom was raised Pentecostal, but she always told me not to believe in anything that they tell me in any church. That's the crazy thing. That's why I tell people I don't have a religion. It's hard to believe, especially when she took me to different churches to listen to what they said when I was young. I'm sitting here, it's like, y'all not making sense. When I ask questions, y'all telling me that I don't know what I'm saying or that I'm too young or I'm crazy. Like, nah. See, now y'all sitting here questioning my questioning. What's the problem? Just answer my question.
Yeah, I can't.
I'm a little ass kid. Just answer that shit. So y'all got me doubting y'all now.
It just never made sense to me why you had all these churches if we all worshiping the same God. It just never made sense. Like all these denominations, everybody think this different, think that different. Like it just confused me. And then I found my way. Like I'm good. I developed my own relationship with the Creator, and everybody will. So these different. That's why I don't knock no religion. You know why? Because that can be somebody's either gateway or pathway to the divine. You know, that can be just a vessel they use. That can be what resonate with them. That's what I learned. I mean, if you practicing it and it makes you a better person, shit, believe in the Lucky Charms, dude. I don't care. You know, as
He's
long as it's making you a better person. You can believe in the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy. As long as you becoming a better version of yourself, rock out. You know, that's how I feel about life. You know, I know a lady, she believed in cats. She believed that
oh,
she from a cat species from outer space, but she's like the sweetest lady on this planet. She'll give you anything. You know, I forget the name of that, but that's what she believed in. She believes she is from a race of cat people,
damn.
but she's not a bad person. She's the sweetest person on the planet, man. She don't bother nobody. She meditate. You know, she good. Smoke a hell of a lot of weed, but like you sure that ain't catnip. But not shout out to her. I'm just being real, man. I'm just being real. Like I don't like I respect I don't like when people weaponize stuff. When you weaponize it, that's when I get into my okay, well I'm gonna I'm gonna rip it all apart. You start weaponizing. You telling me like, hey, how you gonna tell me I'm going to hell? You don't even know my life, bro. I had people say I was the Antichrist. I had people literally say I'm worshiping the devil. I'm like, I don't worship nothing. I pay homage. I don't worship. I don't worship anything. You know, I pay homage. That's my beliefs. You know, I believe everything is already given. And I just need to be thankful. I need to meet the vibration of what's already there. That's what I mean. If you want to talk about a belief, so I don't have to ask the creator for anything. It was already given at birth. When I was born, it was mine to achieve. I just have to get my ass up and get to it. That's what I know. I'm not even gonna say believe. So I'm not worshiping nothing. I'm grateful and thankful. Every breath I take, every cup of water I can drink, I am a praiser, not a prayer. I ain't praying for shit. I'm straight. I already got it.
You know what had me question a lot when I used to visit churches when I was younger was the part where right I had to go save my soul to ask God to forgive my sins, and I used to question. I'm like, what sins? I ain't killed nobody. I'm not even married. I ain't cheat on nobody. I'm over here like I got sins. They like just come to the front, and they try to put this little oil shit on front of you and try to do this prayer. I'm like, I'm still trying to figure it out. And we want to save your son's soul. I'm sitting here, I'm like, he's just a baby. He ain't even sinned yet. He don't know of sin at all. I'm telling you, as a teenager, I had
Man,
more questions.
that don't even make sense, bro. Like,
Yo, I'm questioning. Like, I'm like, wait, he hasn't sinned. He's like, well, we gotta ask God for forgiveness. And I'm like, but he hasn't sinned. I'm like, I'll
man,
present my son to God, but I ain't baptizing my son. He ain't doing nothing. Like, but I'm like, then why am I presenting my son to God? I questioned it.
it, it took this guy 20 minutes to try to explain to me why how I can still sin if Jesus Christ came and died for all of our sins. Like, so hold on, bro. With that, like, I'm reading something and then you telling me something else. You telling me I don't understand it, and I'm studying this shit now because if Jesus died to wash away the sins of the world, he died. So he didn't die for me and you. He died for the people back then. No, he died for us. So what is you telling me I'm sinning for then, bro? Like it don't make like. Look, I'm not having that conversation because you gotta sound. You have to believe. You have to accept something without facts to rock with what a lot of these people say about different things. But my bad, Tay. I know she probably been trying to get into the combo for a minute. What up, sis? My bad, man. I'm just a yapping.
It's good. I'm listening to y'all. But can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did want to ask a question about hell. Can you really go there? And it's
They
actual like do people visit there? Is that an
Is
actual
is
like site,
yeah,
you know,
it's tourists
tourist?
to actually go there. Yeah, it's tourists to
Man,
go there.
I'm gonna check that out.
Yep, it's tourists to go there. It's in Jerusalem. It's right up outside of Jerusalem. It's right outside of Jerusalem.
well, you gonna go
Yep.
visit that place?
Hey, it's a Hell, Michigan.
Oh
There's a
shit.
place called Hell, Michigan, but the actual hell from the biblical is actually outside of Jerusalem, right outside of Jerusalem. I think I put a picture of it on my community wall. Is where I'm looking at it right here on my phone. I wonder how can I send these images to my. Let me see if I can send this. Oh, you know what I can do? I can just put it on here. God damn it! Hold on, let me start. Cause I'm like, if I go out of here, I ain't gonna know how to get. Oh, heard that. Yeah, let me upload these images real quick, and then I can go on the porch. Y'all rock out for a second. Let me get my phone set up. I don't even know where I put my earphones up.
Technical difficulties. Turn on the phone. I didn't even know that. I know about Hell's what you call it, that has that circle of fire surrounding it in the middle of the city. I know about that one, but I didn't know there was an actual place called Hell in Jerusalem.
Yeah, I'm gonna go visit.
Yo,
I wanna go visit.
you gotta go live. You gotta make sure you know that everybody in America can see you. You gotta see what
Yeah.
happens over there for real, for real. And then there's an easy way to, you know what? You can't. You're not scared.
But I'm with what word's saying. I believe everything is given. It's just you matching the vibration. That's all it is. Matching the frequency of whatever it is that you want.
We got two words.
You have to be at a certain level. Cause if you think about it, there's been times where I thought certain things wasn't attainable. But if you look at your life, right, when you was younger, have you ever thought about something you was like, man, how can I do that? But now that you older, you like it comes so easily to you.
Mm,
Have you
I,
ever
I think a lot of things came easier to me when I was younger than now. I
really?
got kids, so I feel like limited. As in before, I was able to just do anything and everything. Now it's kind of like that's why I'm like, I don't know.
When you say any and everything, what do you mean?
I have more freedom, more. I'm limited,
Right. I'm not talking
limitless.
about that. I'm talking about as in having uh wha- certain things. I'm talking about tangible things,
Uh,
not freedom,
what you
but
mean? Like,
certain things
Yeah,
that maybe you felt like you couldn't get, but
I know
now
what
you
you're talking.
can.
I know what you're talking. Like,
You
okay,
know
okay.
what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Word.
yeah, 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 yeah.
shit. I give you an example, just like even where I'm at in life now, man. I like coming from where I came from, like just in the street. I never thought I'd be here. You know, with kids or with a wife. I like, there's some Cosby show like shit. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. This is what I didn't think. I'm like, man, that ain't for me. You see people, even like my boys I'm growing up with, like I'm watching them, graduate college, they got a family, got kids. I'm looking like, damn, for real? Like, man, that'd never be me, bro. I'm in the streets. I'm making this money. Nah, I'm like, how the hell? Why the hell did I even? What the hell was I thinking? Like, that was stupid. So yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
I get,
talking about like that.
yeah, we did a
Like,
lot of
like,
that when we were younger. Hell yeah.
like, like even controlling my emotions. Like, man, you don't understand. You don't understand. I was real, like,
Hot
yeah,
head.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
man. And I was a dangerous hothead because I'd be like, all right, bro. And I was willing to go places that other people wouldn't. So I do crazy shit that other people you wouldn't even think, like, I tell a person, like, don't turn your porch light on. Then they turn your porch light on, they porch catch on fire. They're like, what the hell is this? Like, I was just telling you, don't do it. I ain't say I did anything. I'm just saying, don't turn it on. Okay, here we go. So, Let's see. Let me add it. Okay, they let me add this in. So yeah, to the right is Jerusalem, and that's the valley right there where it's circled at, where they used to do the sacrifices. In.
What the hell?
And that's hell.
Mhm.
Hmm. Interesting. Right in the middle.
Mhm. And there's a valley. That's where they used to sacrifice. Uh, First, they used to take people who sin, like adultery, stealing. They used to take them there and punish them, and
Oh wow.
then they start sacrificing kids to Moloch and all that stuff. Like, and I think it's a I don't know if it's on YouTube, but it's a documentary. You got to put in the Hinnom Valley, and it's a documentary. It might be on YouTube. But I seen it, and we were sitting in a bookstore and they showed it on the VHS tape. That was in like 2000 2008. I seen that.
Okay.
It wasn't even on DVD. It was on the VHS tape. We was in there talking about because I didn't know what it was at first until they start playing, and I'm like, "Are we talking about hell?" They're like, "Yeah, it's a real place." I'm like, "Oh, damn." They call it the Hymnal Valley.
That's
But if it's
crazy.
on, I mean, it's out there, so it got to be everything on YouTube.
So let me ask you this. Would you do you think that what should do you feel like it's okay for people to praise Yahweh and Elohim?
Um, I mean, like I said, if it make them a better person, they can do whatever they want. But if you're talking about you got to know what you praising. You know, when you say Yahweh, that's a Canaanite. Like people get confused with the Canaanite, with the Syrians, with the Babylonians. Um, they get confused worshiping the wrong, like different deities was put in adopted by different people and stuff. So I mean, Yahweh, that's a Canaanite god.
Did they all create people?
I mean, every religion or belief system has a creator, right? Has a creation story. The Hindus, the Buddhists, Islam, Christianity, Zoroastrianism. People don't even talk about Zoroastrianism, and it predates all of it. You
Oh
know,
shit.
besides Kemetic. You know, the Kemetic get their own creation story. So it's what you resonate with. You know, the old Saritian, uh, Santeria, they got their own creation story. I mean,
Who's-
everybody got their own, creation story. I know this for a fact. My mom and daddy made me my physical form. What we communicating with, they made that. But it's a vessel. You know, we have a creator. We definitely have a creator. Who create our souls, the creator of our souls, and we have a creator of our flesh. And if you wanna, like, if you get into the apocrypha text, they'll tell you about the demiurge, right? So, hold on, let me get back on the mic. Oh man, I think y'all want to open up some shit. Y'all want some shit, man.
Yeah, we do. Come on. What you mean by default you do? By default you do. Yahweh was a Canaanite God, but he was not the supreme deity in the Canaanite pantheon. How by default you worship him? Because I don't feel like
No, when you start like because
I
Yahweh is
worship Yahweh.
equivalent. Yeah, Yahweh is equivalent to God. Oh, let me turn this off. Did I do it? Nope. Am I still 2 times up here? Okay. So, Yahweh, um, Yahweh is a Canaanite God. Yahweh is the one who took Moses out of Egypt, right? Um, well, that's what they. So when you go into the historical aspects, like when they was translating and transliterating, Yahweh wasn't even in the Bible. They didn't add Yahweh until I think the word Yahweh was added. I think 200 A.D. 100, either 100 or 200 A.D. That's when they start replacing El Shaddai with Yahweh. They replace um, it was El Shaddai. They never touched El Elyon, and then they changed Elohim twice. No, 5 times I think. I think they changed Elohim 5 times and wrote Yahweh. But the original text, Yahweh never showed up until after Moses. And then they connected Yahweh with the burning bush. Um, so they was just kind of, man, when you start looking at the historical aspects of the creation of the Bible, they was doing a lot of fuck shit. they, they was doing a lot of fuck shit. So, yeah. But like she said, by default, because that's what they pushed at that time was Yahweh. They was pushing Yahweh. So a lot of the stories that you hear, is based upon Yahweh.
Mm.
But those are older stories. A lot of those stories are old. They tell you Moses wrote the Bible or wrote those books, wrote the Old Testament, but you don't really know. Like how you know all about Noah and all this shit, bro. Like how you know all that? How you know about God creating the earth and all that? Because Moses is supposedly the author of the first 6 books. But how you know all this, bro? When did you, man? I don't know. It's a lot of stuff. But when you get into the apocryphal text, they start talking about the demiurge, and the demiurge was taken was actually Satan or Satan, the adversary of the Creator. Who took whole. They wanted a creator, like they wanted to be like the Creator. So the demiurge created the earth. Hey, Shu, what up, though?
Hey, what up, though?
Chilling,
Hey,
chilling.
channel. Can you guys hear me okay?
Loud and clear, sis. Loud and clear.
Yeah, so I just wanted to answer what you said. Yeah, and when you start worshiping Yahweh, even now, if you call him Yahweh, that's not his name. So that's one of the reasons Israel got in trouble, right? So, and one of the reasons they went into captivity. When you start worshiping other gods, even if you believe his name to be Yahweh, right? God made it very clear who he was to the Israelites. So when you start calling him Yahweh or anything other than what his name was, which is I am took Moses out of the wilderness or took him to the wilderness. So when you do that by default, if he's a Canaanite God, they would have known there was a Canaanite God, right? They wouldn't have said that. They wouldn't have called him that. The problem is modernly we wouldn't know that because those books was taken from the Israelites when they went into captivity. That's why I put Psalms 83 in the chat because they were cut off from being a nation, meaning they no longer knew who they were or know who they are at this point in time. Every other time they went into captivity, when you read the Bible, they were able to retain their knowledge of themselves and their forefathers and their history until the end of the last time they went into slavery. So that's why you cannot really say Yahweh. When you look that up, you see it's a Canaanite God. So it cannot be a Hamite and a Semite God. That doesn't make sense.
And just to add to what Sis said on a historical aspect, when she said, they went into captivity and books were taken from them, a lot of the books were found in caves and pottery because they had to hide them away, because if they got caught with them, they was killing people, man. That's historical.
That is what they say. I think during this time of the Crusades that a lot of books were just hidden, period, because there was a great time in history, like I'm sure you know, that a lot of books were burned, whether they were, polytheism or whatever they were practicing, they were burned. So, I don't necessarily believe that either, because at some point, Israel will get to the point where they actually know the name of God or remember the name of God as a people, and they'll have to call on it together. So it's some of the things you say I agree with, but some of it I don't like. This picture you have up. Even by your own admission, if you say that the Ethiopians are the true Levites, they wouldn't have lived in this place because they wouldn't practice Judaism. They're not, that's not, that's not where it is, right? It's in a totally
No,
different place.
oh no, I was saying no, I wasn't saying the Ethiopians. I wasn't saying that. I'm saying like the word that they got the word hell from. This is the place. Like this was the valley. Like when you look in the Torah, you see the mito, the muto, which
You
means hell.
echoing.
Do I still got my other one on? No, I wasn't saying the Ethiopians dealt with this at all. I'm saying like when people say like you going to hell and this and that and that and this, I'm saying that was a physical place. Like this is a real physical place, like a valley where they used to do, where they took people to. I'm not saying the Ethiopians did. I'm saying like in the history, because even like when we look at the Bible, you have uh, the Old Testament, the Torah is written in Hebrew, but a lot of what we read now is the New Testament. That was written in Canaanite, and it was translated into Greek. That's what Josephus did. Josephus didn't know Hebrew. Josephus knew Canaanite, and he knew a little bit of Egyptian. So that's why you got similarities in the New Testament, like even the burial. Like Hebrews don't bury their dead like the Egyptians. That's what Christians do. Hebrews didn't create coffins, and no, they believed in ashes to ashes, dust to dust. You go back to the earth. So like even the tradition today, when they bury them, they do it within the day, and they put them in a biodegradable so they can go back to the earth. That's the Christians who do like the coffins, and that's an Egyptian practice. So Josephus, added a lot of the Egyptian lore to uh, what they practice as modern day Christianity now. But no, the Ethiopians, the Hebrews, like Hebrew and Judaism, that's two different things. People get that mixed up. But no, what you're saying is right. I know what you're saying. But no, I wasn't saying like the Ethiopians rock out with this area or even deal with this area at all. Like Israel, that land that's the tip of Ethiopia going into Iraq. That's not even where they saying Jerusalem is. That's not Israel.
Right.
Yeah, that's Yeah, them Azahnaki Jews, boy, I ain't even want to talk about them people. I don't even know why I said that. They try to flag my damn channel.
You know they will.
For real, don't mention that word.
But yeah, them boy, those little curly things with the black hats, man. Them people look crazy as hell. Let me be quiet. What I'm getting sleepy. That's why I'm talking shit. But yeah, it's. But no, what you and see, this is what I'm saying though too. There's a difference between people reading and then people practicing. Like when A Shu speak, you hear the clarity of what she knows versus what people believe. No, she know this. This is a way of life. So I can't do nothing but respect that. That's why I always listen when she speak because I can learn something. This is a practitioner. This is what I'm saying? Like, is a difference.
No, I mean, you practice it seems like more than I do, especially when you were talking about how you kind of helped out people in your community. You know what I mean? When you go around and you were kind of having, like I mentioned in the chat, you have the righteous anger. There's nothing more. That's practical. That's you practicing exactly what it says in that book. I mean, I think when people get things confused, like I said before when I was on your panel, the Bible is nothing more than people who were losing their footing or their place in the world at one point in history, trying to relay a message to their children before they downfall, before they went into oblivion. You get what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
like even now, when I used to go on panels in the same chats that I met you in, and I was trying to explain, hey, King James was not gay, and no, King James was not white. You actually see his descendant. You just think he plays basketball. He doesn't. And some of the things the tall basketball player says about him is actually correct. He does a lot of things, and they give him all these accolades he probably does or doesn't deserve. But he gets these things only because he is a descendant of nobility. He still has his name on deeds and titles and things that you don't understand, and you still get to live on this land because he exists. He has a greater duty, but you don't understand this because you no longer know who you are, right? That
Mm.
doesn't mean he's not who he is. You just don't understand who he is anymore, right? And you know what? When you say you people don't exist anymore, these people are dead, right? That is very true. But their bloodline, a lot of these people bloodlines continue on. I was in a celebrity's on his Instagram page, and they were talking about how good looking he is because he is. The man is fine. He's fine. So I'm in his chat, commenting with everyone else, and I brought up who he really was. Right? People who know me know I used to have his image as my image. A lot of people thought I was a man for a long time. Right? YouTube made me change my image. They kept deleting the picture out. Right? So when I brought this information to this man, I was like, hey, you are the king of Coventry. You are who you are because of dump diversity. 1452, right? Your ancestors went around and conquered the world for their own gain and for the Pope. That's you. That's who you really are. You are actually the richest man. He blocked me immediately, right? Because he poses as an actor. But people don't know that. You think you under white supremacy, right? That's in the Bible. That's how I know who he is. That's a fact. That's something you can look up right now. But people keep looking at it like this is just some mystical book. It's something that they trying to, I don't know, make you feel good about. No, this is people's ancestors trying to warn their children about something that was coming because they understood what they did wrong, right? The only thing that sets you apart from animals and basically is your ability to read, and people have chosen not to.
Mm.
Ignorance is bliss.
There's people don't comprehend even when they read. People don't comprehend what they're reading.
And that's fine.
Uh,
They dumb society down on purpose. You keep reading, you get a book, you get another book, you get a dictionary, you get whatever you need.
mm-hmm.
So until you understand what you're reading. But people don't want that. They rather come up with some crazy quote to, to I guess look good on, you come up with the best quote or the best catchphrase or whatever on your YouTube page. But in a little bit, this shit is not even going to matter at all. It's not. So the best thing you could do is get some kind of knowledge in your head and honestly know where you should be going and who you are.
And see, I like the way you presenting that too. I would be interested in seeing who you was talking about because, like, when we talk about a lot of what you're saying, uh, I got, I guess I got like the Black Law Dictionary kind of opened my eyes to understand what was going on around me, and like when you said these people aren't physically here, but they bloodline them. And there's a reason why people get elevated to certain positions, right?
Exactly.
And you'd be like, hold on, man, out of all people, why this person? And I didn't understand until I started understanding what like free man was. Um, and now that you said that, like I'm looking at what LeBron actually is doing, beyond just dribbling the ball, but like the moves he made and what he created. He transformed the NBA, and it's like, why him? And you just gave me a whole nother perspective to understand and to look at it. And I'm about to, yeah. There's some other research I want to do because it's some other people who always felt like um, they come from certain bloodlines. Like
You echoing again.
it's certain people I felt like they come from certain bloodlines, and it made sense why they in positions that they in. Um, Especially like when we talk about our presidents, you start looking at their bloodlines, and it's like, oh, okay, so this is this is a thing, right?
It definitely is. Like even with that being said, they have to be of a certain bloodline because that bloodline rules over you. The last actual president that's existed in this nation was Abraham Lincoln. Everyone else has ruled through conquest, right? So if you don't know history, you don't know law, you do not know the Bible, you cannot understand these things until you really know each of these subjects. You have to go back and you have to study. It is not going to be an easy thing. It's not. They don't really educate you enough to kind of comprehend these things. And that's on purpose, like I said before. You have to take the initiative and study these things on your own, in your own time. That's when it will fall into place for you because you have to kind of free yourself from this a little bit. So I guess when you start, I guess you mentioned the conscious community, right? The thing is, most of these brothers have a piece of the puzzle, right? But they're not combining them, and that's on purpose too. You have to combine them on your own. You have to kind of figure out how this kind of goes. And a lot of people, they're just not that interested, right? Not until someone gets shot, and then you want to march, and you don't. It's crazy. It's like, what are you marching for? What are you marching about? You already have your rights. What you're asking for is going to take war. It's you're asking for war, right? What do you
Mm-hmm.
everything you have, like you said, you've already been equipped with. God gives law. These people do not have law. And I'm not talking about just white people. Okay? I'm talking about black people. I'm talking about people. All fam is not fam. You people talk about I listen to I know someone that you know talk about people who come from the caucus. Like, nigga, you got a whole black caucus. And they boldly tell you they're the black caucus. and you don't want to believe them when they say who they are. It's like you don't understand any words, and you come to how you feel. How you feel is irrelevant. It's the most irrelevant thing that could come out of your mouth. What do you know? What do you know? You can't say some things. You could say yes, we didn't see. We didn't see a lot of things, right? We weren't there for it, like you said in history. But there's an abundance of books right now that you can still read, and they pretty much say the same thing up to a certain time in history. They pretty much do.
And the crazy thing you said is when a lot of these brothers got pieces of it, they just not putting together, and that's on purpose. Man, that resonated. That hit me so hard because that's exactly what I did, man. I'm listening to this person. I'm like, hold on, man. If that you put that next to this, you start getting a picture, and that's what I start doing. And I'm like, okay, now I understand. And like, yeah, I know, like when people get in on that, it tripped me out when I seen the Pope kissing a black man's hand. I seen the Queen of England kiss the same black man's hand. And I'm like, hold on, bro, what's going on? Like,
You know
okay.
what's funny? Did you see what was it? Queen Elizabeth, was it Queen Elizabeth? When everyone saw her with Emperor Selassie. You remember,
Mm-hmm.
have you seen those images?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the different images of Emperor Selassie throughout his life?
Mm-hmm.
How he was really dark in complexion before, and how he
Mm-hmm.
got somehow more Arabic looking towards the end of his life?
Yep.
Man, like, and either way, how is this a good thing for you? Just because he's black, it doesn't mean he's for you.
Mm-mm.
Like,
That,
I
like,
don't understand. You don't even know who he is, and if he's the emperor, doesn't it outrank a queen?
mm-hmm.
Do you know what an emperor is? Like, what are we talking about? Like, okay,
and that's when people was going crazy. Like, oh, the Russians releasing the Black Jesus pictures, and I'm looking like, bruh.
sir, he could be
Like,
orange. It doesn't matter.
right, bro,
How
yeah.
does this help you in your plight? How does this help you? It doesn't matter about the color of the person. Like I said before, the people who oppress you had to look like you by everyone's black power admission. Doesn't everything start out being black? So that means the people who oppressed you first had to look like who? They had to look like you.
I mean, you go in some communities now, the people oppressing you is you. We be our own worst enemy.
That's
And
right.
I tell people like them, I mean, like, look, man, it's it's beyond physical. This is what I be trying to explain to people. It's beyond the flesh, man. You have to understand who people are. You got to kind of watch what they do, how they live, how they walk, how they talk, and they'll show you who they are. It's different seeds, man. Different seeds. Like they say, all kinfolk ain't all skin folk ain't kinfolk. I mean, these are just vessels, man. It's what's inside the vessel that matter. You know, um, you can have people look just like you and do the most harm to you. You know, them ain't from the creator, man. People lack of empathy. That's an easy way to like when I start like when you said taking different pieces. Like if you really look at psychology and you look at like different aspects of religion, they correlate with one another. The metaphysics, I'm talking about the soul aspect, like the deeds of the soul, like what you resonating with. Some people don't have souls. These are the seeds of the serpent. These are the devilish seeds. These are the adversary, the Satan, whatever you want to call it. These are them demons, man. And they look just like you. Walk, talk, shit, be laying right next to you. You have to look at the deed of the man.
That's true. And that's something I think a lot of Israelites don't want to face anymore. Because also, when Israel fell, the Most High said, "What? I'm going to pollute my inheritance." So you start seeing, or the Bible speaks of how God actually split the children of Israel up. So the women went one way, the daughters of Israel went another way, the children, the boys went in one way, and the men went another way, right? So when they start talking about pure Israelites, no one's pure after that, right? And God starts talking, or the issue starts talking about how he's going to mix everyone with these different bloodlines, right? And then he says, you earn it. Everyone will have their chance to earn it like it was intended to begin with, right? So how can you say that you're above anybody else if you're not doing righteous actions or you're not following those laws? You're not going to earn it either. You're not. So it's just it's I don't understand what part is difficult to understand to people about that book or about those laws, about whatever it is you're supposed to be doing. Is there two creation stories in that book? Absolutely. I think I have a difference of interpretation of it than you do, but it's still two different creation stories. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's I don't. It's just I don't know. It's just even the curses of Israel. It was given to you by your own ancestors. The Most High didn't even put the curses on Israel. The Israelites put them on their own children. Out of frustration, God destroyed Israel and put most of them back on the people who told him to put it on their children. So that's when people like God's a forgiving God. He's the Lord of hosts. You know what host is in Hebrew? Armies. He's standing there with an army. He ain't playing with no. He's not playing with anyone. He's not that type of God. Like he is a God of war. Read the book. So, I, like you said before, like I was saying in the chat, people who sit there and they talk about how they curse out people. I don't curse out anyone. Not if I can help it. You get what I'm saying? Because just
Mm-hmm.
like your creator, you're gonna wrath. You get at somebody real quick. You understand? I'm very careful with my words when I speak to people because you don't know how they feel and what they're going through. These are things that you are supposed to do anyway. You're supposed to deal with people how you want them to deal with you. You're supposed to be
Mm-hmm.
lenient to people. You don't know who's Israel, who's not Israel anymore. You don't know. So I don't get all this silly stuff, and it's just I wish people would study, and I wish people would start actually, like you said, applying the things they're supposed to be studying.
And see, like this is what I tell people too, because like even me and you, like you said, you got a different perception. It's too, and it's just having these conversations. Um, like I don't see why people can't have conversations. Like, okay, look, we agree with some things, we don't agree with everything, but we not going. But that's who we are. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I know this, you know that. This is what I accept. This is what you accept. I don't have to be angry or mad or going at one another. When people do that, that just shows me they don't have confidence in what they doing or no. Because there's a lot of times people disagree with me, and I'd be like, that's cool. It's that's my perception. That's my understanding of what it is. But it's never a point where a contention where I feel like I gotta take this person head off. Like, well, like what you said, practice what practicing what we study and practicing what we preach. I had a guy come on here yesterday. Um, Never, I had an open panel. Never seen him before, so I put an overlay up. As soon as I let him up, he was like, "What up, N word?" I just dropped him down. Didn't get mad or anything like that. Like, bro, like, nah, man. I mean, you ain't changing the vibe of what we doing or how I feel or how I look at myself. It just shows more about your character, and um, I know who I am, and keep it moving. But people, like, I see people crash out over that. Like, in that mission accomplished. That dude came to destroy. That he came to disrupt, and why give him the power or the influence? But that's who I am. I practice that shit. Like when I talk about emotional intelligence, I actually practice that, and like I get opportunities like that. That's all it is an opportunity to me to show, I practice what I preach and just keep it moving.
And I agree. And for me, if depending on who it is, especially if it's a white person, I understand their frustrations. They were enslaved. I'll be upset too. I mean, what you? I'm never gonna hear that. It's okay. It's all right. That part doesn't hurt my feelings at all. You get what I'm saying? It's just that I don't think anybody's words would ever bother me at this point. It's just I don't really care. I don't care. Seriously. It's just I hate ignorance. I hate ignorance. And when you start spreading that ignorance, when you know it's ignorance, you know it's bullshit. I've spoken to someone and oh God, it was I don't know, like I was telling him, hey, when we have a difference of opinion, even in our situation, I wasn't there. I didn't see the creation. I just know there's two creations. Clearly I can read. But for me to disrespect you, I don't you haven't done anything to make me disrespect you. Nothing you've done warranted my disrespect to you. So why would I do it? I could easily just disconnect and drop off the line and go to sleep. Right. You haven't done anything to deserve that from me. So I'm not gonna give it to you. To sit there and disrespect someone and call them all these names and get upset. Why? That's just weird to me. Why? Clearly, if I come back and I keep listening to you, either there's something wrong with me mentally, or there's just something wrong with me mentally. There's no order. And so, I don't know. I have no reason to be upset. I'm happy in my house, and I hope everyone that kind of joy. But if you don't have it, I guess that's why you would come on the internet and make an ass out of yourself. Everyone can hear you. Your people can hear you. You get what I'm saying? I would never want to represent myself or my family like that. I just won't.
That I don't
People do it all the time, though.
Time doesn't make you right. People just crazy. You just don't. People do a lot of things all the time. They do a lot of things all the time. But like I said, I really legit believe what's in that book. So no, I won't. It governs me a lot. Am I perfect? No. Nope. But I do know that I'm gonna answer for what I say and what I do. And I won't be sitting there trying to justify why I cursed out so and so because they said something I didn't.
But see, this is the thing I respect. You can't do nothing but respect. Like when it is different though. Like when you say you believe in that book because you not only can you know what's in the book, but you live it. There's a lot of people who don't do that. And those I think a lot of the times like having these conversations like you said, you don't agree with my perception of it, but you're not upset about it either. The people who I will like, I don't even like using the word belief when I talk to you or talk about you in a book. It's like it's a difference. It's like because you practicing it. But the people who I generally run into, like I can say it was two creation stories and they beating me down, and I'm looking like, bro, it's right there. Like it Adam and Eve, like this dude tried to debate me for like 20 minutes that God told Adam and Eve to go forth and be fruitful. I'm like, just show me. That's all you got to do is show me in the Bible where it say that. Because he kicked Adam and Eve out the garden. He didn't tell them to go forth and be fruitful. So like we getting hung up on this one thing because you don't know it. You telling me something your pastor told you. I'm showing you. Like I'm not telling you to believe me. I pulled it up. Like we can look at it. So like it's a difference though, because it's like a lot of people who believe in the Bible, they never open it. They wait for somebody else to tell them what's in it. They don't open it and study it and read it and even practice it. You know, like you said, it governs you. I can't. I mean, it's no what I'm supposed to say. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing for me to say. Like people who practice my art, there's nothing for me to say. I can see it in their actions. I can like just having this interaction with you, having this conversation. I can see that you live by it. You know what I'm saying? So what is it for me to say? I can't say what's right and wrong for someone else, especially if they live in it, and it's working for them. Like I said, I know people what is the Larians? It's some I don't know what it is, but this lady believe in it, and she can recite things I've never heard of it. The Larians, the Lycans, or something like that. But she believed that she from a species from outer space, like some cat people. And I mean, but she's a good, wholesome lady. Like, what I'm gonna debate this lady about her beliefs for? Like, she living this shit, like, and she practicing it. She like this species of people loves everybody. They help where they can, and they never hurt. I adopted that philosophy. I'm not gonna help you if I can't hurt you. So I mean, like that's what I'm saying. Different things go resonate with different people and put people on different paths. But it's the people who try to condemn you to hell because you don't believe in what they believe in. It's like that's not even how it works, bro. Like that ain't your job, you know.
That's not your job at all. So you don't have a hell or a heaven or anything else to put anyone in. So good luck with that.
All right. But this is a great combo. I am sitting up here. Yeah, my kid's about to get me up in like 4 hours. We're going
I'll let y'all.
we're going to family house tomorrow. So, but this was a great conversation. I appreciate you always coming up here picking my mind. Hey, Shu, I always appreciate you coming up here, dropping that sauce for us, giving us a deeper introspect when we talking about different aspects of the Bible, because that's what we do. We build and learn. We can learn from one another. We can grow from that. Having these experiences, and I also think I appreciate y'all helping me set a great example of how these panels and how these conversations should go because. Like I said, just because we have difference of opinion, don't mean we need to be up here disrespecting one another. That's not how we. That ain't how it's supposed to be. So any opportunity I get to show people how it's done, I appreciate y'all helping me out with that. Writers appreciate you too, sis. And like I said, I appreciate y'all so much because. It's the example. If people do take the opportunity to check this out, they get to see how things should be done versus, how it's done. And that's the important thing. We have to sometimes make people aware of how things supposed to be because maybe they just not used to it. You never know what people life experiences is, and sometimes people not aware of how things should go because they never had the example. So y'all helping me set those examples. I appreciate y'all. But y'all know what I always say. Care about how you feel. These are the conversations to build nations. And if I say anything to resonate with you, do me a favor, hit that share button, tell somebody. Help me spread the word. But until next time, we out. Great live. Hey, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all made the live great, man. Y'all did that. Y'all did y'all thing. Man. Appreciate y'all.